Welcome back, everyone, to another new episode of the Red Wagon Inn. So glad to have everybody joining us for tonight. We are doing the new setup, which is a smaller cast, while Alex and Brie are taking care of business. We've got a lot of cool stuff still planned for you, though, and this is just going to give us a chance to dive pretty heavily into the lore of the three remaining characters. So very, very excited. Glad to have everybody on for tonight. Before we get started, two things. One, if anybody has anything they need to hawk, let me know. And two, if you haven't heard those new boppin' beats, we have a second theme song from Words Mythologic, Be Reckless, that kind of Minecrafty fantasy or Final Fantasy-esque piano that was playing in between. Absolutely a bop. So great job, Words Mythologic, on that, because it is straight up really good. With that, we have a few other things that we need to show off. But first, Drew, who was it that we're saying is going before Red Wagon Inn starting next week?
Devil's Advocate. It's a really cool show by Dane and Craig. What they do is they discuss really awesome things about D&D. So they'll compare, they had a whole bracket going, which class is better than which class. And it's a really awesome show, and you should definitely check it out next week when it starts right before Red Wagon Inn.
Awesome. Glad to have them in, and maybe we'll have them on sometime. Who knows? Right. Anybody else have anything they want to hawk before we get started? Beautiful. Let's get started then. We have a few pieces of art to show, one of which obviously was the theme song that we showed before. We have an updated version of the fanfare kind of victory song. I say victory because somebody pointed out, how often do we really have a victory on this show? Anyway.
The sweet, sweet victory.
Yeah. See if we can get Tom. Why am I blanking on his name? The voice actor for SpongeBob. He probably would come on the show, right?
Oh, Tom Kenny?
Yeah.
Tom Kenny. Yeah. That I couldn't. I was thinking it was Kenny something or Tom something, but I couldn't put the two together. Right. We
There's
have
also
some.
like 30 characters in Rick and Morty. Anyway, continue.
Oh, I don't know. That show's not very big. People don't know.
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
an
talking about,
indie
Jakey.
show.
Talk about high level things like SpongeBob SquarePants.
True.
We have a piece of art from Rain, which is a How art, which looks really cool. I don't know why this one gives me very Night Before Christmas vibes, and I absolutely dig it. It's so cool. We also have something from Hestania, which is a watercolor version of the Red Wagon Inn logo, which I always like stuff like this because I rarely have a character besides Robert that gets pinup art every now and again. So I really like this one. So Hestania, you said that you're not an artist, but I think this is really good, and you deserve the props for it. So thank you. And then we also...
And if you didn't think we were furries, you will now. That's for you, YouTube.
As we have another piece of art from Mira, which is the kind of realistic versions of things with summer this time, and it's looking super duper good.
So cute.
So good. We have a giveaway tonight. We actually have two giveaways. The first of which is the Siren Dice from Infinidice, the Kickstarter that I reviewed. I'm actually sad to see this one go. I was going to give either this one or the Thor one away, but I happened to go for this one just because Thor one I might try and experiment some things on with. But this one is the one I actually prefer, and I think it looks really, really nice. So if you haven't seen that video, there's a lot of cool stuff on that Kickstarter, so go check that out. But if not, we're giving that one away tonight. But then we also have something pretty rad. Jakey, you want to tell them what these models are wearing?
Oh boy, do I! These models are wearing the prototype current of the How hoodie. The arm printing is a little smaller than I would have hoped, so that's the first thing I'm gonna preface. But yeah, so there's some chromatic aberration designs, and it's got some cool eyes and things. The arms say love and hate on them, just in the small little thing on the arms, because the initial design I didn't want to be super big and gaudy, but also for the thing, the constraints are still pretty narrow. So I think I really like how it turned out. Yeah, there's going to be a giveaway of one tonight, and then there's going to be one this month. That is a Red Wagon Inn like fan art contest where if you submit into the fan art page, if you could either at one of the mods or just like put on it that this is my submission, you can submit on the Discord or social media with the hashtag Red Wagon Inn, yeah, and that counts Twitter, etc. And I'm going to check them regularly, and I'm going to gather them, and I'm going to send them to these lovely people here, and then by the end of the month, so end of March, we're going to pick one that we're like, man, this person deserves a hoodie. They worked really long and hard on it. So you have a month to submit whatever you want. It doesn't specifically have to be how or even the party. It can be, you can draw us as people, you can draw your Red Wagon Inn establishment, and it doesn't have to be like specifically art as in traditional media. It can be, or media as in like drawing. It could be you submit a poem, a painting, a song, a dance, you name it, whatever artistic way you want to contribute. That's the way you can enter, because we want this to be as inclusive as possible. If you want to do your best impressions of us, this is great. The sizes go all the way up to 5X, I believe, and they're as small as extra small. And if there's special requirements, like if someone's like, I would like to get one for my child for the giveaway or something, I can do that on the website. Yeah, so that's the cool thing with the hoodie. And the hoodie itself is going to be sold in the shop after the giveaway this month. So it's gonna be like, you get your grubby little fingers on the first ever one. It's pretty cool. You're gonna get it before it's even in the store where people can purchase it.
I gotta say,
Back to you, Ryan.
When you said you could do a sketch, I'm glad that you're voting for it, because I would absolutely say only sketches involved. Recreate a scene like Castigon peeing on the graves of Team or something. That would be the ones I'd vote for personally. But no, it's probably good that Jakey votes on this one. But no, that's a
Bonus
super rad
points.
giveaway, and I'm
I
definitely
was gonna say
going, so.
bonus points for marble sculptures.
Yes, if you can.
If someone makes a marble sculpture of any character, I don't know how you beat that, because that's an expensive entry for a hoodie.
Well, somebody else made 2 marble sculptures, so all that work you put in, useless. Awesome. Anybody else have anything before we do roll for recap?
The giveaway has started.
Giveaway has started. Make sure you enter and make sure you're following.
The dice giveaway has started.
Dice giveaway first. Next giveaway. Death stare at me for disrespect of the dead. I didn't do it. Castigon did. I hope that he would. But anybody else have anything before we roll for recap? Roll for recap then. Oh,
Just
not
love
me
you
tonight.
guys, you know?
17.
Not me tonight. 19.
Oh, frick.
Oh, frick.
Oh,
baby,
frick.
that's a natural
Oh, frick.
20 from the Jade Ivory. Ooh-wee!
Okay, that's what I figured, because I rolled a 2.
Ah.
I'm kind of hoping for the natural 1 from Jakey, but that's fine, that's fine. Handy dandy.
I
Notebook.
thought I was going to
Oh, Lord.
lose once Ren and Hao said 19 and 20, and I said 17. I was like, this is some bull.
At least
Well-
somebody took notes for last week.
Yeah.
Good job,
I don't
Jackie.
know,
This is for you. Great job.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mumbo number 5.
Y'all don't know it, but Red Wagon Inn is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
All
right, I'm done. I'm done.
Got
Good,
it.
Jackie.
Let's
know
do this
what?
recap. We got this.
I kind of need you to fill in, because I took 4 lines of notes. All right, so this is what the notes say, although I remember more than this.
Dragon
Okay.
Tiny, actually, very good, yes.
I have Sorfin, Shadow Dragon, also known as the Living Shadow, and then Cliffhanger, Castigon takes Summer and Pepper. So, like, TLDR, that's what happened at the last session.
Is that really all you have on there? You might as well have not taken notes at all.
Hey, those were important notes.
They're very important, yes.
That's the name of the dragon.
I was gonna say, now if someone's just like, ooh, I'll give you an inspo if you know the name of the dragon, Jackie can go, this joke's on you, that's the only thing I know.
Pause then.
That's true.
What is, and nobody answer for, what is the name of the
Okay.
demon that Jakey summoned?
The actual name or the name, like the... It was
Either
a...
the type or the name of the demon.
God, Jesus Christ.
That wasn't it.
Oh, no.
No, that'd be
What a
terrifying
rude
if they
thing to
summoned
call a
that.
demon.
Oh, no. It's blanking on me. I know it's pulled by a spell, but and it's like that specific type, but I don't remember. Unfortunately, stage fright is getting to me.
Give me a guess.
It starts with a B.
Bestagon.
Bestagon. Wrong no matter what, because it didn't have an actual name, and that was a trick question. But
Yeah,
But the
Balgura was
creature type did. She could have answered the creature type or its actual name.
True.
That's what you said.
True. I was
And the
giving her
actual
that,
name
but I mean for
is
the actual name.
Balgura.
I knew it's the
Balgura,
Balgura,
yes.
but I wanted to see if she'd be like, I think its name was Asmodeus, I think is what he summoned.
Its name was Big
Oh.
Chimpy.
Big
Because it was a
Chungus.
big monkey. Big Chimpy. And he has like a
was
little
chunk.
hat on and like a small tiny vest. It doesn't fit him. That's why he's so
Two
angry.
symbols.
He's like, ah. Yeah.
Also, Verity.
they're like
has-
bigger
Verity
one.
says,
yeah, you go ahead.
"Oh no, Verity said if I change my loyalties, Verity would help me." But I think I might be smited down. Anyways. Okay, but okay, legitimately, we were stuck in the dragon's dungeon, I guess you can say, of Sorfin. We finally got together with Pepper and the dragon. Oh God, I'm told
It's your
but the
one
dragon
note.
got real big, and then we were like swirled up in it, and then some people got out, some people didn't. And then the dragon escaped and terrorized the city, and we were like, "Good job today, guys! We finally helped this dragon out."
Honestly, that's pretty much really it. How did you? Okay, so I will give you a point of inspo for a very easy answer. How did you
Okay.
open the illusionary doors?
Oh, the eyes. We put flame into the eyes. We
Boom,
did
there you
something
go.
with the eyes.
I'll take that. You can get a point of inspo for that because really, that summed it all up and much better and quicker than I normally do.
Thanks.
Awesome. You can have your point of inspo if you don't already have it. And doing a quick inspo and GFY count, I have 1 point of inspiration, 5 GFYs. People have not been using them near
What
as much
happens
as they
when
need
you
to.
get to 10 GFYs?
If I get to 10 GFYs without y'all using any, so that means not stopping any of my plans when you really, really want to, I'll let
Okay,
you kill
so in
an
another
NPC.
session.
I'll let
You
you
let
kill
me kill it. Wait,
any NPC.
at 10 GFYs.
10 GFYs without using them. So if I am like, Drew, I'm about to finger of death you because you failed that save, and if the group does not use them, any NPC I'll let you
Chat, let me die. If that's the case,
kill.
just let me die.
Or Castigon, Green Dragon, Dead, Team and Gideon. I'll hold to that deal. That's fine. Castigon, Ifka, Keenak, they all count as an NPC.
You heard it here first.
No, here's the thing. Here's what I'll do. I will make chat give gift subs so that I don't use it on Rarbert. Just I'm kidding, by the way. I love Rarbert, okay?
I'm sorry, I just had a mouthful of tea and it was about to go all over my monitors.
Spill the tea. Ben.
Jacob Man Artistry, incredible.
Yeah.
That is my full name. Don't wear it out.
That's my father. Right.
Yes, that's my father. Please, I'm boy.
Right. Well, that's a good recap. I think we've got everything squared away. Are y'all good to start?
Mhm.
Dungeons and
Yes.
Dragons time then. Everybody grab a drink, pull up a chair, come hang out with us at the Red Wagon Inn. And where we last left at the Red Wagon Inn, it is currently nearing nighttime, near sunset. You wouldn't know that though, as you are down beneath the streets, underground where that large staircase led out. Ren, you recently climbed back down underground where there's a hole that Sorfin blew out of the ground. And you are now back in this illusionist lair, this cultist to the living shadow. You are all currently standing in the room. Sans, your friends, Summer, Salt, and possible friend, Castigon, who were there just a moment ago, but also there with the illusionist cultist woman who had her arms hurt. However, were healed by you and your friends, but you sit there in a bit of disbelief as Summer and Salt are gone. They were not bluffing. Castigon was to take them away. Robert tried to run to stop Castigon from doing so, but when he does so, Castigon has vanished, leaving all of you in the silence of the room as the gray smoke from Castigon's teleportation disappears.
Zinnia will kind of just fall to her knees and stare at the blank space where Pepper and Summer used to be.
Herbert, don't you? I thought we would have a moment to where we could stop him, but he's just gone.
Just
Yeah.
Does he do this? Is he truly gone, or is he just? Can I just not see him?
He
He's
went
gone.
somewhere else.
She'll just put her head in her paws and taking very deliberate, slow, deep breaths to kind of prevent the tears from coming.
We need to get out of here quietly and away from this area. I understand things aren't going great, but we also just released a dragon in the middle of the city, and I'm sure the queen probably won't be happy with us that just happened, and we're the ones down in the hole where it just came from. We need to get out of here.
The woman who is currently healing a bit, as you have chosen to heal her up, so she's not dying and broken of arms anymore. As you speak of that, her head reaches and says, There's a hole in the ground? The guards could be coming here?
Yeah.
She stands up, looking at all of you, and attempts to run to the door to escape.
Let her go. She's not worth her time.
She leaves the room and
based
begins
on how
heading
quickly
towards the large staircase that leads out.
I think based on how quickly she snapped, I think she wasn't exactly fully in on this purple dragon stuff either. So, I think letting her start anew is a good call.
That's cool and all. We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is gonna be weird, but Ren, I'm gonna give you a piggyback. Robert, Zinnia, each in one hand. And I'm gonna take everyone's hands, give Ren a piggyback, and I'm gonna cast darkness, and I'm just gonna take them, and we're gonna skirt through the city, and just a big cloud so no one can see us.
So, before you do, just as a pause, you are currently down at the bottom of this. There are large 10-foot tall stairs that lead out of this. So, even to get up there, there's going to need to be some physical exertion from all of you if that's the way you're going to choose to go. Because you're not currently in the streets. You're still 200 odd feet down underground. So, you can definitely do that, but you need to head in that direction.
Because there's still 5 of us, correct?
Correct. Celine is here as well.
I can get one of us up into an alley, but it would only be able to be one.
I can also bring one person. Then I could make it Robert or Zinnia. We toss down a rope and pull the other person up the steps.
Yeah. I'll be tapped after this, but
you all make your way up. I can get my own way out of here. I have other means as well. I will meet you at the inn.
Okay, so then we won't even need to do the rope.
All right.
Yeah, let's just each take one person up.
You
You can go a little further, so you should probably take Robert.
Yeah, Robert. And I'm gonna grab Robert's hand, stomp my foot down, and cast Dimension Door as far away from this hole as feasibly possible that I saw while I was up there, so I don't end up inside a wall. All right, in a house.
As you, we'll go random first. How and Zinnia, what spell are you casting to yeet out?
I'm gonna use Thunderstep. So it's gonna make noise in here, but the reappearance doesn't make noise.
What's the distance on Thunderstep again?
90 feet.
Okay, you're gonna have to go up a little ways up the stairs before you're gonna be able to get out.
That's fine.
Okay.
Then I'll do that. While I'm walking with Zinnia, though, how's gonna turn. I know you're not feeling great at all, and I know there's a lot coming at you at once. Whatever you want to do when we reach the inn, it is your choice. I was called here to follow Summer, but Summer's not in the equation to follow. If you want me and Ren to leave, I will convince Ren to leave. If you want us to come with you somewhere, we will come with you. It's your choice.
I honestly don't know what to do, but I know I don't want to be alone.
Then you won't be. I'll make sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course.
As
Plus, it's like the first time when we met. Leap of faith. And I take her hand to do the thunder step again.
hold up. So as you're at
Okay.
the bottom of the stairs, so you look up, and you can see what is the setting sun above you. There's about 20 of these 10-foot tall stairs that lead up. So you're going to have to go halfway up or more before you're able to thunderstep just to get to the very top up there. When you do so, you see not only the silhouette of the woman that you just saw before, climbing her way up these stairs slowly, kind of having to do the tall jump up and then pull herself up. But you also see silhouettes around the edge of the hole that Sorfin made up there. Several people with ropes leading themselves down that seem to be clad in heavy armor.
I mean, I don't know. Well, from what I've learned, it's either GTF, get the F out of here, or own up to our mistakes. First option never really worked out for us. I don't know if there's any way we can even do this first one with, I mean, we're surrounded.
You're still in the room with the purple braziers lit. Behind you, staring out towards the big door, is the very tiny door that Sorfin came from. To your left would be the kind of bunk room where everybody was staying, and to your right leads back into that small library room that you came to.
The
at
library
very
room
entrance.
leads back into the actual bookshop, right?
Correct. Looking in there, though, the library room currently has the other door that was that spiral staircase that led down. You see that hallway that you found the original drow from, that the spiral staircase seemed to have vanished and disappeared from.
I mean, it's up to you. We climb the steps and we confront these guards, or we can go a sneakier way. We just dim the braziers in the other room, the eyes, I guess. And then we can go up to the bookshop. But it's your call.
Where was Ren again? Ren and Robert?
Ren and Robert are out because Dimension Door has enough distance to be able to get out, and since they've already gone, they're poofed.
Got it. Well, I would want to follow them. So I don't want us to split. I think whatever we can do to go back with Ren and Robert.
You begin to hear, actually, that would be Zania begins to hear. She's a distance away and vertical for you, so you can only hear just a little bit of it. But the woman who's running away from you all is screaming for help from what appears to be armored people coming down, saying, kind of pointing in your direction. You can't quite make out what she's saying, but she's yelling, help, 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 pointing downwards towards where you all are.
How the woman's yelling for help. I don't know if she's blaming us or not. Do we? They're coming. I hear them coming. Do we yell for help?
Yeah.
One more thing.
We're going to yell for help, but I need you to follow my lead.
Okay.
I'm going to go over to that other cultist, and I'm going to use my last spell slot. And I'm going to cast from the other corpse of the dude who is there. I'm going to cast another Summon Greater Demon, and its command is destroy this place. And then we're going to start going up the stairs, running from the demon.
As you turn back, one thing that you notice is Celine is gone. Now that you've come back out of the room where you look towards where the tall staircase were, you go back into the room where you just originated, where everybody once was. Celine is nowhere to be seen here. You still head over to do the demon thing?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
it's literally our main option. Yeah.
You run over
Yeah.
to one of the other corpses, and this is the one that the Balgora had a fun time with, we'll say, as it was smashed into the ground Loki style. You rush over and grab some of the blood pooling beneath the person's neck. And when you do so, oh.
Loki style.
Ooh.
Oh?
I was
Also,
like,
actually,
did the weird eyes thing. What's
before I
going on?
summon this, while I'm summoning this one, I'm actually going to change it because this one, yeah, this one will make more sense because a dragon just came out. I'm gonna make the one the Bulgura destroyed because I can do it of any under CR5. I'm gonna make it into a shadow demon. So this winged version of this person comes out, elongated arms, twisted horns, and it's just gonna fly around. Yeah, it's got incorporeal movement, so it can move through objects and stuff. It's while in dim light and darkness, it can hide, and it has light sensitivity. But otherwise, it's a dragon-looking demon thing that's gonna start breaking stuff.
Okay. As How reaches down to the blood behind the person's neck, you cup some of it in your hand and begin squeezing it out and letting it drip from your finger. And when it does so, as soon as it hits the ground, it begins like smoke rising upward. A shadow begins to form. And what you essentially see in front of you now, Zinnia, is Hellboy as a smoking, shadowy silhouette with wings flying out of his back as you... This is how you command destroy this place as you grab Zinnia's hand and rush towards the stairs or towards the original room that you came from.
The stairs, I think, because then if we're climbing and acting like something scary behind us, I think that makes more than enough sense.
What is your DC spell save?
My spell save DC is 15.
Sounds good. What is the specific
And it has
creature?
disadvantage on all of its save.
Do you
The
know its
specific
true
creature
name?
is a shadow demon. It makes I think a wisdom save. So it does have a +1. That being said, it does have disadvantage on them.
If you know its true name.
Is it?
I think so. I think
thought-
that's what I
I
just
thought it-
checked. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm fairly certain that I just checked.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't know. Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, regardless, it's still doing its thing. So it'll at least be there for like 10 seconds just busting stuff up, but yeah.
Okay. So, are you heading back to the stairs or the way where you originally came from?
Stairs.
Okay, sounds good. As as you say, destroy this place, and immediately, without hesitation, begins rampaging through this area. In an instant, it's gone, and its shadowy form is still standing there, but you hear the bed begin to crumble and be destroyed as it starts its onslaught. Zinnia, Hal pulls you out of the room as you turn and see the stairs that are nearby. What you also see is up one level of stairs, only 10 feet above you, are 3 armored people. You're not sure male, female, what they are, but they have complete helms crossed and covered their face. They're the traditional medieval, almost like beaked in the front style helm where it comes down. If you think of a knight, that's what you think of. Not like the Crusader, cylinders. They're the traditional medieval knights as they sit down there. They have slid down from the rope recently. One of them holds a rapier on the side, one of them a sword and shield, and another one has simply a crossbow on their back. As they slide down, they see you rush from around the corner before you hear, "Halt! Do not move from where you are at!" And the one on top pulls their crossbow out and aims it steadily towards you.
Can we at least get closer to you? There's something behind us.
How, as you turn and say, "There's something behind us," you turn and look. The shadowy demon stops destroying and turns and looks towards you. And beneath the shadows, you can see a crooked grin aim your way. You're certain that you've lost any sway over this demon that you might have once had.
Okay. Well, there goes that plan. So Hal stands where he is because there's guards and there's the demon.
You rolled a 15 plus 1. Beats it. As it turns and looks towards you, the guards tell you to halt. As you say, there's something destroying things down here. Roll a persuasion.
Uh, 19.
19. Okay. The guards look at each other and they hear the crash of the bed from the first time it started throwing things around and destroying things in there. The one with the crossbow looks down. Go help them, and holds the bow still in your direction, but seems to be listening to what you're saying. As the next one with the rapier throws another rope down with the one with the sword and shield kind of holding it, allowing them to head downwards into the area from where you're at. You see the shadow begin to creep its way in your direction, Zinnia and Hal.
I look to Hal. Is it supposed to be doing that?
No. Just keep your hands out so the guards don't try and kill us, and hopefully they will deal with this.
And I'm just going to keep hands raised, and I'm going to try and climb the thing.
We're not really equipped to deal with whatever that thing is. Can we just at least come up to a safe spot?
As you go further into the room, now unable to see the shadow, the knights, both the rapier and the sword and shield one, have slid down the rope with the rope behind them. They pull their weapons out, one of them with a very, very ornate rapier, the other one holding what can only be described as a basic longsword with their steel kite shield. As they look towards you, you hear a gruff female voice say, "Stay behind me," with the sword and shield as she walks forward towards the actual entrance where the purple braziers are lit. The one with the rapier holds up high, waiting for something to come out and attack as they slowly advance their way forward. The one with the crossbow says, "Get up here!"
I look
Yeah,
to Hal.
we get up, we listen, we
Okay.
scuttle up.
Listen.
Rush up the rope onto that other layer where the one with the crossbow is. The one with the sword and shield disappears behind the doorway where the purple flame is, but you do not hear any combat beginning as the one with the rapier begins to follow into the room nearby as well. Or they vanish behind you. The one with the crossbow says, "What did you see down there?" I heard there was a
winged
dragon of
creature.
shadows.
Yeah, there's something down here that's like that, but it's not a dragon. It's a winged creature with horns, and it's made of shadows too. I think there was a cult here. We just went to the library, and we ended up getting. They were trying to sacrifice us. It was awful.
Do not move from this spot. When they return, we shall ask more questions. But the cultist that you call, the woman who ran helplessly above, tells a different story.
Well, I didn't say it was her. I'm saying there is cultists down there that was dealing with something dark. We went shopping at a bookstore.
And did you
then
see
there
the
was
woman
someone
who
wanted
left?
to sacrifice us. Yeah, she was there with us. She was dressed in the robes, and then as we were getting almost sacrificed, the creature broke free that we were getting sacrificed to, and then she said something about how she was going to lie to the guards, and she ran away, and she was cackling. So if you're believing her story, well,
Roll a
I don't know what
deception.
to say about your merit.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh,
A jab at the
the
chest
dicey
deception.
encounters. The dicey encounters. Wait, where is it? The dicey encounters. That's a natural 20 from our boy Drew. That's
Nice.
a 27.
Do I do the GFY? No. As you say, I don't know what your merit is. You hear an audible, kind of an angsty sigh come out of the metal helmet of this person. Before suddenly a loud crash comes from down in the hallway. Just get out of here, before the person with the crossbow slides down the rope to go aid their companions in the room nearby. There are several long pieces of rope that seem to lead down from the top, stopping every few steps, allowing them to make their way down here, that would allow you to make your way out of this hole, should you choose to use those.
I know this probably isn't the appropriate time to say this, Zinnia, but I'll race you to the end.
And they start scuttling out the rope awkwardly.
She actually gives a little bit of a smile and jumps for it and tries to get a head start with a jump.
As both of you grab the rope, actually, yeah, if you are going to race, I need an athletics check from both of you.
Oh boy, that's a -1 from the boy.
Okay. Sure. +5. Let's. Oh. Natural 20.
Oh,
Jakey, keep
you
dancing,
kidding
buddy.
me?
Keep dancing.
I got a 19 with a -1. I was so happy. I was like, I still got an 18 with my lanky little arms. Are you Hulk style? Just jump up
Try
the
and
whole
beat this,
thing,
Jackie.
I mean, still 18 for How, who's this weak little boy. That's not too shabby.
No,
he
very, very
do be
good.
flexing.
As you grab the ropes, trying to get an advantage in front of Xenia. So, this might be a bad time to say this, but race you to the end. You start climbing up the rope before you see the lioness with her sharp claws dig them into the stone nearby and walk as if she was on all fours on the ground without slowing at all as you struggle and see her go past you before she gets on the top of the rung and reaches her hand down to help you up. As you reach up for it, she does and jumps up to the next one and begins hopping her way up the stairs.
How's gonna lift his mask a little bit, and he's smiling under it. And he just says, "Good," and he keeps going up.
Good. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So, as you go up, you see several dozen silhouettes from the outline of the slowly fading sun in the sky, all leaning over the hole downwards, looking at what's coming in, what's coming out. There's a few guards that are in similar attire that you saw the riders in, and those who went downwards into the pit but you also see regular civilians that are here that are just curious onlookers to see what's going on. Several men and women holding their children back, keep trying to look down into the pit to see what's going on, but so many people just looking down to see what's going on. As you come up, you start to hear murmurs and whispers, and people say, oh, "Who's that? Is it? That's the one. That's the one that the woman just spoke of before. The cat woman. That one summoned demons to harm her." And as you begin to hear, basically, the maliciousness of your intent without any wrongdoing on the illusionist or cultist part being described at you, and accusations thrown your way in hushed whispers in a crowd. As you pull yourself up on the ropes, you are immediately met by and surrounded by a few guards that have halberds and long reach weapons like spears, not pointed at you, but at the ready in case you do try and move. They're holding them in hand, but not accusatory or threatening. But one of them does step forward that seems to have a longer kind of pinkish purple, I guess fuchsia is the best descriptor, cape that leads down, kind of distinguishing them from the rest of the group. As again, you hear in a higher pitched feminine voice that speaks through the metal plate before pulling their visor up and looks towards you and says, "What happened to my other men?"
They're fighting another one of those shadow creatures. We ran away from it downstairs.
She, as points to the left, there's a knight who's holding the woman kind of by the shoulders here and kind of pushes her forward. The one who ran away from you, the cultist or illusionist, and brings them forward as if to show off a witness, but not a trusting witness that they particularly trust yet. She claims that this is your doing, and that you brought the wrath of the dragon here into our city.
Look at her robes and what she wears. She'll match the books downstairs. She's one of the cultists that tried to sacrifice us to that dragon. They lost control of the dragon and flew away. We're lucky to be alive, but I can't say as much for the others.
Is this true? Or the woman says, "No, look, you will see bodies beaten and broken to a pulp, demons, blood offerings made by that one there." She points to Hao in his purple attire. "He stole the blood of my mother and summoned something to beat her to a pulp. My father was throat slashed. You will see that down at the bottom. It was just our home. I don't know how they summoned such vile beasts to attack the city, but they did such wrong to us. You will see the bodies beaten." Roll
if I
your
can jump in here.
persuasion versus her deception. And if you'd like to add, you absolutely can. Or Xenia, if you'd like to counter, you can as well.
Yeah.
12, so still 19 with a 12 base.
Xenia, how are you
I
aiming?
didn't use guidance or anything.
Well, you'll see that her robes match the ones downstairs too.
Yeah.
Woman looks over the illusionist, then back at you. We will see similar robes and similar books that explain everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were praying to some dragon. I came down to a bookstore because I wanted to enhance my magic. This is the best of my capabilities.
And I make little sparks come out with prestidigitation.
I'm just practicing. And
You make little very, very bad.
I do the whole like sound come from my hand.
The Halo headshot noise.
Yeah.
and I was under the impression that I would come to a place to learn, and so were some of my friends who didn't make it out of there. So I apologize for being crass right now, Crown's Guard, or whatever position you are, but I have come to this town. I came to buy books, and I wanted to learn my magical craft, and this group of charlatans tried to kill me and my friends and feed us to a dragon. So, sorry if I'm not exactly impressed at the hospitality so far.
The one with the cape. Woman walks up, puts her hand on your shoulder. And then she looks at your mask and down at the hole. She reaches her hand up, her gloved leather hand, gently towards your mask, as if to grab it. But slowly, not in an intimidating or mean way.
How will like move her hand and take it off himself because it's like tucked behind his ears?
You can change its expression. It's a pretty basic trick.
She just looks at your face. She kind of does the on your shoulder and leans past you towards the hole. Says, "Everything all right down there?" Or you hear a very, very faint go back and says, "Yes. You should see this. Shadow demons in cultist robes." Lock her up. Put her in chains. I have questions. You too. I would ask that you stay, but you're free to go. Where are you staying? Maybe we can come look for you to ask further questions later.
I look at Zinnia.
We were actually just got in town. We were looking for the Red Wagon Inn. No, we were at the Red Wagon Inn. Sorry. Memories a
It's
blur.
been a day.
Yes. The Red Wagon Inn.
I can see that. We have obviously a lot of work to do here. You can see two of the guards now taking the woman away with chains wrapped around her arms to some barracks or prison off in some distance somewhere. Says, Red Wagon Inn, then. If I conclude my business here today, I will look for you. If not, we'll assume you're gone. Adventurers that you must be.
This is weird, but we're not staying in town long, so we will try and stay, but something that might keep us here. Is there anywhere where I can buy scrolls or anything? Like I said, I was trying to go to a bookstore.
Honestly, this is not my concern at all, but you are in the right street to do it. Just take a look around. Or she
Thanks.
leans towards the rope and says, "Tell me, however did you find your way down there?"
There's a bookstore that's just down on,
And I point out what's straight.
there's a tunnel that someone can get dropped into where they were keeping the creature, or if you pull a gray book, top right shelf, it'll open into a backspace and it goes down. They have some pretty flashy ways of making it seem like you're joining their little organization.
I shall go look at this bookstore. What you say holds true. That will be enough information. We will find out from there. If not, then I will come looking for you in more dire concerns.
Fair enough.
Enjoy a trip into the city. Or she
Thanks.
slides down the rope leading off.
Thank you.
Several of the guards kind of look at you and give you suspicious side eyes that you can't really see their eyes through the helmets, but they give the turn of their head, indicating that they're looking at you as they all look down at the hole. Some of them follow, some of them trying to push the people away from this hole and keep the area safe. Zinnia?
I'm looking around just for Ren or Robert.
Cool. Let's go back to Ren and Robert. Rewind back about 5 minutes. Ren, you grab Robert by the hand as you poof, poof. You tried to go as far away as possible. Are you trying to go back in the direction of like the Red Wagon Inn or further down the street? Okay.
Yeah, back towards the Red Wagon Inn.
From where you're at, you know about the height that you need to go to be able to get up to the surface and the distance you need to be able to teleport, and trying to get into some alleyway nearby. When you do so, you immediately poof Robert up into what is a very dark alleyway based on the sun setting and being in between a couple of large buildings there. When you do so, there are two people that seem to be sleeping, what appear to be beggars in the street here that have a home here in the alleyway. But with your dimensional door, it doesn't make any sound, and you currently have not awoken them to either of your presence. As Robert comes through the door and says,
And then Ren's gonna tiptoe away.
you walk out into the streets. You can look back about a couple hundred feet nearby. You see where people are gathering around what you must consider to be the hole that was made by Sorfin. What are you doing?
All right, Robert, we gotta go back to the Red Wagon Inn. They'll meet us there. They know what they're doing.
All right.
They'll get through it. We just gotta get there first.
Okay, let's go. I'm tired of... I should have made action on... And he starts saying this as y'all are walking towards the end. I should have made action on Castigon in the first one. I'm tired of inaction. And we need to just do things. Stop thinking about them. Thoughts have got us nowhere. As the two of you...
And Ren's just giving, just kind of like, okay. Like...
You're like, sure. Yeah, whatever, man. Kind of. As the two of you walk back, Robert goes, I have so many questions, things that I thought I knew, things that have changed now with this in mind. I don't know. If they can make it out fine, and so can Celine, they obviously are as magical as you. We've get out of there just fine. Then we should get out of this forsaken city.
Yeah.
Everywhere we stay is just chaos.
Yeah, I really didn't want to, like, originally come here in the first place. But, you know, here we are.
Myself either.
But-
I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed, but I get quite a few looks around here. Dragonborn aren't exactly the favored kin.
I'd have to say I don't think anything other than human and gnome is widely accepted here, so I wouldn't worry about that too much.
We could just get to the crossroads, but we're not even headed that direction. I hate this country. Before you head, and by about this time, both of you have reached the Red Wagon Inn on the other side. You can hear rumors already from people around. Did you see what happened in the city as you were walking down here? I heard that there was an explosion. I heard that someone let loose in the alchemist shop and it blew up, and just general telephone-like rumors that seem to be spreading as people talk here until more information is confirmed. No one really knows what's going on.
To Robert, and kind of like right before we get to there, I'm gonna look at Robert and just say, like, we know nothing of what happened. We know nothing. We weren't even there. We weren't there.
Okay.
We weren't there. Okay. Got that in your head? We weren't there.
I know a lot, but I'll just follow your lead.
Okay. Cool.
As the two of you go to open the door, you're immediately, your foot is hit by the door opening your direction, as it kind of it hurts your toe, as you see several men and women up in arms with weapons ready to go and seeming to be headed for combat, as a bunch of adventurers are now leaving the inn, possibly hoping to make their mark or their name or earn some coin from this tragedy that's happened and befallen the city. As men, what? Sorry, which way are you going? Were you headed in this way? Before a few of them begin walking out and around looking at you like, didn't you hear? Action on the other side of the city.
I'm not an adventurer. And I like flash that I don't have a pen, like
You get a lot of
leave me alone.
Yes. They're like, oh, okay, never mind. Oh, weakling, yada. As they begin walking and leaving the inn, allowing you to go inwards. From inside, you see the same unwilling barkeep from before, several of the barmaids that are around, a lot of them clamoring up there, seeming to be asking, like, you hear a lot of, is there a quest for this yet? Is there anything that we can do? Can we earn some money off of it? And a lot of talk back and forth trying to capitalize on this situation, as that seems to be a big deal that it's happening. And so adventurers want to earn something from this and see how they can support.
Scavengers, I tell you, man.
As you say that, you look around trying to either get to your room, find a table, whatever it is you like to do. But you see at the table you sat at before, Celine is, hey.
Yeah, I'll go over to the table.
She says, I saved the spot, although everyone, once the news got here.
How did you get here so fast?
How'd you get here so fast?
I mean, obviously magic, but...
Obviously magic.
That's all Ren's gonna do is
just look at her. We have our ways. You obviously use some sort of dimensional transportation. I just got here quicker. But either way, someone already has told news of this to everyone in the tavern, and they've been clamoring, and thought we should just...
Oh, on a positive note, we know nothing about it, and Ren looks to Robert, we weren't there.
Robert kind of...
I nudge.
Yes, of course. We weren't there at all. Were you there, Celine? No, I wasn't there either, sweet boy. Where are the other two?
They'll be here soon. They had to go shopping.
Okay.
Because they aren't there either.
Okay. Shopping seems like a weird thing to do right now, I gotta say. But is that really priority number one?
Is there, how many people are around us?
Currently everyone would be up there clamoring about this. It is just the three of you currently not trying to get in on this.
They'll be here soon.
Okay. Well, I only have the one drink, and good luck getting one, but if you need some... She kind of slides, that is a mug of water over towards you.
Here you go, Robert. And I slide it over to Robert.
Robert, thank you. Before he does so, just immediately, very dwarvish almost, as water begins to slide down his scales, just pouring down his chest at this point, as he's just seems to be very thirsty, nervously thirsty or what. He's had a lot going on. Right, back to Xenia and Hal. Are you headed towards the scroll shop, or are you headed back towards the Red Wagon Inn?
I mean, if the scroll shop's still open, how might look respectfully?
And if we're on the street, why we gotta go all the way back if we're already on the street?
Yeah, just another extra trip, you know?
2 dragons, 1 scroll. 2 birds, 1 stone. You just knock out this thing at the same time. Also, I'm getting... Is anybody else seeing this?
The highlights?
Yeah, the highlights are not at all what is going on in chat. And I don't know why.
It's last week's
Is
highlights.
Oh,
Yeah, they were
are
talking
they like
about Brie.
catching up?
Oh, but they're talking about Brie, and
Amazing.
Brie's not.
Okay. Because yeah, I thought I saw Summer
Unless-
first, and I'm like, somebody said Ren taught her to do that with her mouth, and I was like, what?
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, I was like, that's not appropriate.
what?
Nothing that we're saying has anything to do with that right now.
My sweet baby.
You might have to throw your
What that
computer
mouth
away.
do, magic boy?
Magic boy. Right. So, back to Hal and Xenia. You're currently walking further to the west, away from the Red Wagon Inn, trying to find that scroll shop mentioned before. Go ahead and roll an investigation, as now this seems to be behind you. Don't got to worry about it.
I cast guidance on me. No, thank God for guidance. That's a 6, but plus 4. That's an 11.
Okay. Xenia, are you also looking, or are you just following for what he feels like is appropriate?
You know what? I think I'm trying. However, I might be super affected by my friends disappearing because I rolled a 4 minus 1. So I'm eyes are foggy. I'm distracted, I think.
As you do, you get distracted sometimes, it just happens. Makes sense. Right. As the crowd is kind of pushing its way past you, causing it to be very hard to see around people, there's just a constant rush of people like a river towards this hole in the ground. It's causing it to be very difficult to find what's open and what's not. You see several shop signs closing, people afraid of what might be going on in the city. Lots of armed men and women headed towards that location there. However, you do seem to find one shop that might fit the bill for a scroll shop. Outside, the sign is parchment laid on wood, which is typical of magically oriented shops. And when you look in, it seems to have a decent selection of scrolls on the wall. It's very, you know, those like square lattices that kind of that look like chain link fences, but they have a bunch of scrolls holding them, like the way they used to store scrolls. Yeah. There's a person standing in front of a counter with that behind them and several empty chairs in the room. They also seem to be brewing a large pot of tea behind the glass that you're seeing.
I mean, is it cool if we go in? We don't have to if you want to go back, but I wouldn't mind popping in. I can come tomorrow too, though. It's entirely up to you, like I said.
I mean, I don't mind. A distraction actually sounds kind of nice.
If we can get cool scrolls, I will show you what cool scrolls can do.
And I go on in. I push open the doors like I'm ready to receive a fashion design on myself.
And then Zania will try to mumble, didn't Ren say it's okay, it's okay, all right.
As How Woody's himself out of the does the like push out of the cardboard box thing. Woody's himself in there. It is noticeably absent the bell of most shops that bing, doesn't have it. You just poof. And as such, this person who's standing behind the shop here, as I'm seeing Bob of some kind seems to be the preferred name. So with that, there's a large man with big cheeks and hair that seems to cover the entirety of his face and runs down like a scraggly beard, and hair on the top that is kind of halfway between Einstein and the Fonz. It's kind of slicked back, but really curly and up in the air. It's not very well kempt, is the best way to describe it. He himself is as sweaty as I am on a normal day, just seems to be existing, but the heat of the tea that is currently being brewed in the small fire nearby that seems to be magically created seems to be too much heat nearby for him to not be sweating, as he holds up a towel and just kind of says, yeah, can I help you? Did you have an appointment to come in today?
Oh, do we book by appointment? I can book one for tomorrow or this week or something, but I just wanted to look for scrolls.
There's nobody in here right now. I didn't know if you had something specifically that you were looking. You can absolutely come in, but I just hadn't checked to see if anybody was supposed to come in today. Did you hear all that racket outside? What is that?
Yeah, there was like a big hole that blew open in the ground. There's too many people around it, so it's people trying to capitalize on a tragedy, that whole thing. So we went to the other side of town because then we can do some quiet shopping for once in this beautiful city.
Man, that's just awful. Right in the middle of the city. In where at?
It's like
How describes where-ish it is.
Did anybody get hurt?
I mean, not that I could see. It didn't look like there was any casualties on the surface level, but there's a big crowd.
Okay. He takes the towel and is just like patting the sweat off his face. Okay. Good. I worry. But please.
Let me give you a hand. I use prestidigitation, and because I can change the temperature of something, I make him just feel like a rush of like cold air on specifically him, so it won't be on the pot, but so he gets cooled down.
Oh, thank you. I don't know why I didn't think of asking somebody for that. It's just so hot in here all the time. But would you like some tea? Is there something that you're looking for specifically?
I would love some tea while I browse your wares. I do have a bit of a shopping list.
And I'm going to lay down Hal's list. Is specifically at the top, like circled 30 times, is Leoman's tiny hut. Or tiny hut. Because he do want those. Potentially Tensor's floating disc if it's there, and divination because it's fun. I know I can get that one as a spell, but it is a ritual that I can put in my book.
Zinnia's like, you what? You want my jam? As you roll out a small list for him to look at as you take a seat at one of the nearby seats that are up by the counter. He grabs the kind of cast iron teapot and grabs the towel that he used to kind of blot his sweat off and touches on the bottom to hold it up, and you hear it as he does so. As he goes and pours 2 small glasses of really, really dark tea, almost coffee black, as he pours it out there and sets it down. Takes a look at your list and says, "Oh, this. I'm sorry. I might have 1 or 2 of these just by happenstance, but this is not. This is not a magical scroll shop. If that's what you're looking. No. This is. We do maps, locations, history scrolls.
Ooh, actually, if you do have a scroll for anything, rad. I would like a detailed map of Kern, and do you have like a nice map of like just a general like region area? And a nice scroll case. I have a friend who's obsessed with maps, and they keep pulling it out of their pocket. It makes me want to throw up.
Absolutely. We even have straps. You can just add them right to your pack. Keep right on the top. It
Oh,
would be
I
amazing.
know they would adore that. Do you have
Sure.
one in like a kind of like a cherry kind of leather?
Yes, absolutely. He reaches down and he
Red.
pulls out a dyed red leather backpack. It would absolutely stand out in a crowd, but fashion is as fashion does, as he sets out this pack with several small little straps that must be buckles that go only an inch or 2 in diameter, just enough to lock the scroll in to where it couldn't move if it didn't want to. Seeming to be all over this little pack here. There's one large buckle still for a bedroll on top, but it is a very, very pretty backpack of sorts that could be used. He says, I also... let me take a look here. What were the names of the spell scrolls you were looking for? One more time?
Am I back, by the way? Because I fully cut out for a second there.
Yeah, you're totally good.
Okay. Whew. That scared me. Anyway. I was looking for Leoman's Tiny Hut, Tensor's Floating Disc, or Divination. I feel like
I have that one. I have the disc, actually. I keep that spare ones of those around for those who need them if they procure too many things at one time. So I have a spare scroll of those that I could sell you if you'd like.
How much would that be with the bag and whatnot? And just also, I guess with the nice regional map, can you also just put like little, I don't know, just like other small like areas, like you know how you're a map person, so you understand this. Pretend I'm dumb. But you know how you can go to a location and they have like nice scenic maps of just like these are the hot spots you should stop at. Like, do you have small versions of those? Like, I could buy a bundle to put in the pack.
Possibly. I have some that denote areas of interest. It depends on the area of interest that you're looking for. I don't have any that just have all, but I have some that show caves of interest, of exploration, unexplored delves and dungeons that are long since sealed. But if there are some who should choose to do that. Some that have just wonders of the world that you could go visit for scenic outlooks. It depends what you're looking for.
You nailed it. I wanted the dungeons and the scenic thing. I think that sounds great. Instead of those. Imagine this is a gift basket, but it's for someone who loves maps.
Okay. He goes and he starts just rifling through, allowing you and Zinnia a moment of reprieve as you have the hot teas in front of you.
Zinnia will take her cup and sniff it.
Go ahead and roll me a constitution check.
A check. Oh, check. That's different. So
Check 1, 2.
3, 4? 17.
I thought you said just 4. 17, you inhale it, and it is incredibly bitter, but any sort of sinus issues that you had from the dust down in the illusionary area is cleared. This is definitely going to be not the best tea, but it is going to be very comforting, very down home type of tea. This is good stuff.
I'll cup it and I'll slowly sip it.
You pause. Like you grab the cup, or you dip your hands in the cup and pull out water.
She's doing double hands under the cup, I assume.
Okay. For some reason, I was like, she's a Leonin. She may be doing that. I just have to clarify.
This is true. You know, if you talked to Zinnia a few months ago, she might have done that, but she's more acclimated to city life, so she knows that you have to hold the cup and then bring it to your mouth.
She's a civilized putty tat now. As you both, how it's up to you. If you, am I feeling okay? What did I do? How do you also take some of the tea?
Man, you asked that in such a pointed way. It makes me scared to have the tea. How would have the tea because he's having a chill time and he likes this dude. But the way the GM says, "Are you also participating in this?" Let me. Do we die?
I just have to ask, who drinks the tea first?
I probably would.
Probably Zinnia. Then you get the first taste of the good tea that helps out your sinuses. Very good. How you also take a sip. Very good stuff.
You're the worst. You're the absolute worst.
As the man, after a few minutes, comes back with the cherry red leather backpack with several straps intended for scrolls, sets it on the counter, and he sets a bevy of different scrolls and maps on the table in front of you. One of them sealed with a kind of purplish, similar to what you've seen around here, this kind of fuchsia wax seal on the front of it that definitely indicates a spell scroll. Probably the Tensor's floating disc that was described before. He also gives you a map of the local forest. He gives you a map of the just surrounding area, the road that leads from here to the crossroads, and as per requested, detailed is a hard word to describe without it being just enormous. A map of Kern that shows general districts and where to go for some specific things, and general places to avoid, but getting a detailed map of Kern is nearly impossible because you need to have such a layered map for how high and low it goes.
Fair enough. That checks.
Where he says, that should, at about this time, being that he's kind of done a little bit more work, he's dabbing off some of the sweat once again. He says, that should be what you asked for, but as far as price, I don't mean to be a bother. I'm terribly, terribly sorry. We do have to charge quite a premium here for maps, for the spell, for the book bag. I'm afraid we don't come cheap.
How not cheap is not cheap? We had someone try and sell us a very easy to cast spell for almost 3,000 gold earlier.
Oh, no. Oh, well, okay, apparently we do come very cheap. 200 gold for the lot.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
As
Hal's gonna bundle it up. I like this guy, so I'm not gonna try and haggle him. Yeah, I'll pay the. Oh, I just full screened my character sheet. Thank you. Yeah, I'll pay the 200.
Welcome.
Easy peasy.
Cool. You sort through and pull out 200 gold, giving you a map of the road from here to the crossroads, a map of the nearby forest being good scenic places to go to, and caves that you may want to go to, or better left avoided, and some of the locations of specified creatures that you should probably avoid, and then a overall map of Kern and the city, as well as your Tensor's floating disc scroll and the backpack. 200 gold. Go ahead and roll me a insight, Zinnia and Hal.
10.
Oh, 16.
Okay. Seems to be giving you actually a very good deal. Everything that he says seems to counteract that, but this is a great deal. You should absolutely jump at the offer for this.
How? Do you need some help with that? I have some money. I don't want you to be spending all your money, you know?
Oh, I've been saving everywhere we've gone, and since I met you guys, I travel really light, so I don't mind. In fact,
Okay.
I'm gonna slide him another 10 gold. And
Is there something else?
No, it's just I asked for something really strange to put together in a gift basket, and you did that without a moment's notice. So I like to pay when I'm impressed.
Oh,
Thanks for the tea, dude.
thanks for the tea, dude. As Hal kind of sets it down on the table and stands up, grabbing the rest of the stuff. He says, "Oh, sorry, I don't know where you're from. You're welcome, dude." Grabs the gold and adds it onto the pile. Is that? He kind of looks to you, Zinnia, as Hal begins walking towards the door. Is that a drow thing?
I don't know what that's supposed to mean or imply. That sounds a little bit racist. Not gonna lie. I don't know what you're trying to mean by that. I'm not a drow.
Wait,
I'm Leon.
no.
How am I supposed
No,
to
I
know?
asked if is dude a drow term of endearment?
I'm Leon, and how am I supposed to know?
You're traveling with
From the door, Hal yells, "Come on, dude, we gotta go back to the Red Wagon Inn."
as just kind of like dumbfounded with this, Zinnia kind of nods and heads back to how the man seems to be questioning, but with the 10 gold in his hand, he's not going to question too hard. As the two of you leave the shop, are you heading back to the inn?
Yeah, it's mostly chaotic, so I think Hal probably wants to spend the rest of his night just putting the scrolls back, chatting with pals.
Beautiful. Zinnia, anything you're wanting to do?
Zinnia wants to get?
I think Zinnia's. I'm looking at her equipment. She looks pretty good still, so she doesn't mind going back to the inn.
Okay. Both of you are heading back, so we'll go to Ren, Robert, and Celine as you sit there in the booth. Eventually, time kind of passes, and several of the adventurers that are hoping to get some quests out of this, you hear a lot of the matrons at the bar like, "Look, we don't have a quest for it. It's whatever it was. It's handled, or nobody's come to us yet. We will get it to you when we get it to you, but sit down. I will tell everyone when we hear anything about it." Several of the adventurers head back to their chairs and their local seats, but several of them just head out of the inn, trying to figure out if they can handle this and earn some coin on their own sans a quest. As the three of you sit there, you're also brought some imbibements and food to tide your stomach over as you sit there with Celine and Robert. It's kind of awkward and tense as you have just continued to look at Celine like, all I did was ask her what type of magic. Okay, fine. As the three of you sit there in a bit of silence, just Robert, not a quiet eater though, so the silence is often broken by Robert kind of like pulling apart very, very hard and dense bread rolls that kind of comes with that. He holds out, offering you a bite before him.
I'm good. Thank you though.
So, are we going to talk about what we didn't see?
No. Because we didn't see anything. We weren't there.
Okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if we had been there and had seen something, what would we talk about? Because I feel like I would need to. Had I been there?
But you weren't there.
Right. Of course.
So you wouldn't have anything to hypothetically talk about if you were there because you weren't there and no one saw you there. And
right, of course
we
I
were
wasn't
never
there.
But if I was
Robert,
there,
no.
and I needed to talk about it because I need to be able to
We
figure out
gotta... Ren's gonna slap onto Robert's face and say, we've gotta talk, buddy, about you. Love you, man. But sometimes... And Ren just stops and just shakes a little bit.
I'm sorry, if I were to go through some sort of trauma, I would want to be able to talk about it. It's hard for me to keep things bottled in. Do you know, my God is about talking to things, and it's hard, right?
When the others get here, you can talk about it.
Okay, if I have
they
a
too
means,
weren't there.
I can wait then. I can wait to talk about it with others. I can.
There you go.
I won't say a word.
Cool. Eventually, you can learn to bottle up emotions and things.
It's not
and
healthy.
It's totally
no.
healthy for you.
Man,
No,
that
it's
is not
totally healthy.
No,
it is.
The tenets of the
healthiest
whispers
thing,
tell you
Robert.
to speak your mind so that others can come to help you. Maybe that's what's bothering you. Maybe you keep things too bottled up. Speak to me, Ren. Talk to me.
No.
No,
Ren just like shakes his
Let's
head.
do an exercise, Ren. Look at me. Look into my eyes. Look. I want you to tell me your deepest, darkest secret. I'll tell you mine.
You go first.
Well, obviously, you know the one, the treant thing. I'm very not proud of that. However, I do have something else that's weighs on my mind constantly. I don't care to keep it in. Also, Robert is your God speaking. Remember, whispers are best kept to the shadows and rooms behind closed doors. He will think about that. But he is going to spill some tea. Something that's bothered me for a long time. And it drives me to be the one that I am today. That there was a time once, my brother and I had nothing for ourselves. We just surviving on the streets, and my brother gave me a loaf of bread to split between the two of us. I was supposed to give him half and me half. We would eat. That would be our meal for the day. I ripped it in half. And I gave myself the bigger half. If there was to be two halves, I probably took what would be 60-40.
That is your biggest secret? And Ren's like yelling this in the bar like, that's your biggest secret?
Yes! I stole from my brother bread that I should have shared equally, and it could have fed him and fed me equally, but I was so hungry, and I took more than my fair share. And I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And I keep that in. You are the first person, you and Celine are the first people that I've told, besides breathing myself out to the whispers.
You are too good of a person, Robert. Why are you with this group?
I want to help them. They've helped me, and I want to help them. He mimics you where you put your hands on his head. Celine is kind of giggling at this point. He mimics you where you put your hands and puts it on theirs. He says, let me help you. Help me. Tell me. What have you done? I will not judge you for it. You have not judged me on my deepest secret. Matter of fact, you thought it was minor.
Done.
It's, to me, this is...
You're too good to be with these people.
What do you
Why
mean?
are you with these people?
No. This is where you're wrong, Ren. The reason that I am with them is because I have to atone for the wrong things that I've done and help them to do the right things, which is what I think you're here to do.
You ate a little more bread than you gave your brother. How is that? That's not even a secret.
He trusted me and I betrayed it, Ren.
It was bread.
Sorry, that voice got me finally. But look, I don't think any one wrong act is worse than the other to some degree. Obviously, the group has done wrong, but I want to help them and they want to help me. I sense inner turmoil in you. Tell me the worst thing you have done in your life ever, and I will not judge you.
It is so much worse compared to what you have with bread.
Celine speaks up and says, I stole more communion wine than I should have one time, and I regretted it for...
Why are the
days.
two of you with this group? You're too good.
I've done worse than that, but I'm saying I understand the guilt of a cleric, a paladin, and a clergyman. I just understand it is all. I've done worse. I get it. But I get it. I get it, Robert. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you.
Not stand the innocence of you two.
Well, you could be innocent too if you spilled your guts out sometimes.
I am not
you keep
telling you my deepest, darkest secrets.
Why are
you
we not
tell me
friends?
your deepest, darkest secret is that you took a little more bread than your brother? What kind of give and take is that?
I told you.
There's nothing deep and dark about your secret.
I stole from someone who could go hungry.
He still ate.
Look, Ren, you don't understand. I don't think that I could explain it to you, but know that I would not judge you. I would help you with whatever your secret was. I would help.
I don't need help. I appreciate Robert, you are too good for this group. I don't know why you're here. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why she's here.
To help. Do you think that it is just chance that we all met on that mountain that day? I think not. I was beckoned back by the whispers. How also beckoned by the whispers. Told him to come to help our friend Summer, who obviously still needs help. Zinnia is key to that. We should follow and help Zinnia. Help others, and let me help you, Ren.
I just don't get it. You're with a group where their solution to fixing a problem is making a bigger problem.
Eventually, they can't do worse, right? There has to be a level that they top out on, and then they must go and revert backwards.
I don't know. You have literal gods coming against you. How can there be? No, you're right. You're right. How could it be worse? You have literal gods coming against you.
Correct.
Why are you with this group?
They would forget about us after a bit of time, and look, honestly,
They're gods. They don't forget. I don't even believe in these people or things or whatever they are. But clearly, they can just and then just appear and disappear and take people and go to different planes of existence. And what is this group?
At that final, what is this group? The bing, bing, bing yells as Zinnia and Hao come in. Hao with a gift bag of sorts with this cherry red leather backpack with scrolls adorning all around it and stuffed into its pockets. And actually, it's very much mimicking your kind of crimson-y cherry red outfit that you typically wear, Zinnia. You look very matching at the moment as you see your friends return. Unharmed, which is good.
On the way, Hal would have probably just put it in like a bag or burlap or parchment or something.
Okay, if you wanted to be like a present.
Yeah, and Hal's gonna like kind of do the thing where he sits on Robert's side, but like hits Robert, so he scooches down. The friend who's like, "This is my spot now," and then Hal plops the thing down in front of Ren, and then waves at the barkeep.
The kind of unwilling man kind of nods and points over to a barmaid to head over, and she's as Zinnia and Hao join the group, but Hao definitely forces Robert to scoot over as he was once on the edge. But Zinnia, you enter normally, like a normal person, as the barmaid comes over and says, "Yes, sorry, we're very busy. I should have thought to ask when you came in. What can I help you all with?"
Don't apologize. I was just being obnoxious. A round of mead for everybody, and can we just have like table snacks and stuff, grapes, cheeses, whatever. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can just throw stuff on a plate, and we'll just finger food.
Absolutely, nope, not a problem. You are a member, correct? You two, and she points to Zinnia and Robert.
Yeah.
As you flash back. Okay, then don't worry about price either. We'll bring you some grub. Before she walks on back, and she says, never mind. Before it walks on back to the kitchen, goes to grab some food and some drinks. She'll return in a bit, but you're currently left at the table. Ren,
Hal starts pushing the bag slowly forward towards Ren and goes, but he keeps doing it even when Ren goes to grab for it, and he's like just pushing it farther and farther. And Hal, being like a lanky guy, he's got pretty long arms, and he's just basically pushing it till it falls in Ren's lap.
Zinnia's sitting there with her paws kind of crossed, just back straight, just watching like expectantly.
Celine kind
We're
of
both doing
gets
that.
what's going on. It's Robert says, "What's that?"
Y'all
Ren.
need to, before I open this, whatever this is, y'all need to have a talk with Robert. And I know Robert's sitting right there too. I'll need to have a talk with Robert.
Oh, what do you want to talk about, Robert?
Yeah.
Look, I was trying to get Ren to open up to the group. I wanted him to feel at home, accepted. I would do the same for any of you if you felt conflicted. I think that we would work best as a team if we aired out grievance. We don't need to keep anything in. Obviously, if we would have known more about the rat folks' troubles, we might have been able to head this off and help them, but we didn't. Man, don't keep things in. That's bad for you. Or Hal knows. With our religion, he knows.
Have you
Speak.
tried sharing something personal and intimate?
I
that
did,
usually
yes.
people to
Yes,
share with folks?
yes, I told him my deepest and darkest secret. How? Would you like to share yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, if we're sharing deep, dark secrets, mine's kind of funny. I don't know where it is, but there's a town that loves me.
why is that a dark secret?
Oh, because I just went around and I just like romanced a bunch of people and just left.
But
I was
that's
drunk 90% of the time.
That
It's my
sounds
big secret
sweet.
because I'm gonna randomly find a town that there's just a bunch of people that they probably hate me now.
and a bunch of mini
But,
U's
like, in
running
a-
around too, or
I have no idea.
Do they all have masks? All the
I
little
have
ones?
no idea.
I don't know.
I hope so.
Don't know if I would consider that a deep dark secret. How?
Celine.
I
Oh,
don't think any of you know what deep dark secrets are.
Ren, see, Hal was willing to share. Why don't you share with the group? Zinnia.
wait, I can share another one.
Oh, yes.
That was the first time I've ever
Because-
summoned a demon. So
Oh, that was the first. You
Yeah.
controlled it,
But-
right?
We
uh,
should probably maybe not talk about this with people around. Just
Oh, well, just to take note on that, if it's kind of a power that your god gave you. Is that really a deep dark secret though? Like it was God given?
here's the thing. I know it's a God-given power, but like when I did it, I really wanted to do it. Like I made someone's corpse into something horrible, and they had to listen to me.
See, Robert, that is a deep dark secret.
Oh,
Taking more bread and eating it than you gave to your brother is not a deep dark secret.
Ren,
Yo, you took bread from your brother? Dude, that's a dick move.
I know. See, I'm sorry. I worry about it every day, and maybe... See, Ren, the reason being is not only did I steal from someone who's hungry, I survived the attack on us. Perhaps it was from the extra strength I gained that day from eating more bread than my... It's all connected, see, deep down, but sharing it out helps. How? Obviously, what he did there with the demon is questionable at best, but because he was able to share it, he gets it out of his chest. He doesn't have to sit on this. We can work through this together. How? If you ever feel that you need to summon a demon, again, I can help prevent those urges for you.
Maybe. I don't know. I think I want to. I do like. How do I say this? I like the idea of creating things. Like, I put on my shopping list, and I'm going to start scrolling, and Hal's going to add Find Familiar to his ritual list of just things he wants to get. The idea of making something that was like working alongside me was cool, and that's why I'm excited to use the scroll salt or pepper gave me. But yeah, the whole demon thing, I'll be honest with all of you, I didn't really have a lot of control over that thing, which is scary. But I mean, we were in a room full of illusionists. I wasn't sure their capabilities, and just when one of them dropped, it was... Whispers has two main voices, and Hal's going to indicate to his tattoos, there's the kind side and there's the not so kind side. And when that body dropped, there was the not so kind side saying this was an opportunity. So I appreciate it, Robert, because I can tell you use the kind side of whispers more often than not.
Absolutely. Well, you've always been good to me. You think they could be good to you too, Ren?
When we get our Ren's gonna try and
Just, like,
sidestep this
ignoring.
conversation. When we get our food, we should go up to a room that's nice and secure and quiet, and no one can listen to our conversations. Maybe
That sounds good to me.
sure.
because
Excellent.
we have
Yeah,
some
that's
things
good.
to talk about.
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah.
Only if you promise to tell us your deepest, darkest secret.
Yes, good ideas in here. Only if.
I'll tell you mine.
Yes.
I don't want to know it, but I appreciate.
I can assure you it's probably not as bad as House, but at the time it felt like my deepest, darkest secret.
Wait, did I become that guy? Did I overshare?
No. I just think
I
that
don't
out
want to
of
be that guy.
all of our experiences, I think ours just might be yours might be the heaviest, and that's not a bad thing.
Right. We can overcome anything together, all of us.
Word. I am excited though for us to, I don't know, open up. I can tell we travel together because, muddled circumstance in a lot of regards. It's kind of we keep going because we keep having to go. But I don't know. I enjoy being around each of you, and the Whisper seems to appreciate all of you. But I want more reasons to like you guys. I don't know. You all seem such beautiful people inside and out. I mean, I'm sitting across from someone who can become anyone they want to in a glimpse. They can control purple fire. Like, we've got a woman who can wield thunder. Like, we've got a guy who can speak to the whispers, but also has a guilty conscience because of bread. Like, that is amazing. And then we have someone who her god is upset at her because of how she was born. Like, these are huge, amazing things that make you just such fascinating people. Anyway, we should go up and get snacks. I'm just excited to talk to you guys more.
Robert's going to put his arm around House, since he's obviously sitting next to you since you scooted him. And he's, way bigger than you, and just, what do you need too, friend? I think, truly, we have something great going on here. As House says this, someone kind of leans over from the back of the other booth behind you. So, hey, sorry, I don't mean to be eavesdropping here. A man with kind of a reverse mohawk. There's no hair on the top, but just really long hair that goes all the way down with just this single line of a lack of hair going down his head in the middle. And says, I don't mean to hear or pry here, but you said you could turn and be whoever you want. Which one of you was he referring to on that?
That's me, and I can use disguise magic. Look at me go. And I'm gonna start doing my illusory minor illusion to make like a mustache on my face. And
go ahead and roll a deception.
I'll take that. Deception is +7, and that's a 24.
Sorry, not what I'm looking for. Didn't mean to pry. Accidental. It's just quiet in here. Have a good day. Where he goes back.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Looking for. Is everybody cool?
If you're a cop, you're supposed to tell us if we ask.
I'm not a guard.
I can do a kickflip. I think that's pretty cool.
I mean,
you legally have to tell us if you're a cop.
You legally have to tell us if you're cool. He kind of looks at me. He says, "Not what? Are we cool?"
I just said I can do a kickflip. I mean, is anyone else going to one up that? No, I think we're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Never mind then. It says,
oh, come on, guy. And Hal starts doing that thing where he's leaning over the booth now to this dude, and he's like,
you're both
come
like
on.
leaned over at each other at this side.
But we're chill. We're not gonna rat you out for anything weird you're doing. I mean, if you're wearing people's like heads and stuff, then yeah, that's scary. But I mean, you don't seem like someone who does that.
He looks at you and says, "Have you?" I know the answer's probably no. Have you heard of a changeling before?
No, I haven't.
Through stories.
Those like fairy tale people that can like take over people's bodies.
But those aren't
no.
real. It's doppelgangers that you're looking for. There.
Oh yeah, see, I've heard of doppelganger. Is it like a doppelganger?
No, they're different. They're doppelgangers or malicious changelings aren't. I'm not looking for malicious people. I'm just looking for a changeling. If you haven't heard of them or seen them, then obviously I got nothing to do here. I'm an artist. See, I like to paint red. See, kind of leans back. What languages does everybody speak?
Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Leonin.
Common, Elvish, Leonin.
Common, Elvish, Celestial, Undercommon.
He looks and says, artists, painters, sculptors. He just kind of, it seems to be that he's like speaking gibberish at you. But he says it questioningly before he says, never mind. Have a good day. I was just looking to see if I knew one. Been looking for a while. It's like trying to find a unicorn, right? you just want to find one, right? You hear they're so spectacularly amazing, and I don't know. I've been looking for a long time. Sorry. Go about your dinner. I didn't mean to interrupt your dinner.
Oh no, it's fine. Weird.
How would you even paint a changeling?
I'm a very good painter, but I would assume that possibly they change a lot, but whatever form they'd stay in, that's what I'd paint.
So what, you would want one just to be your model?
My muse.
A
is the
muse?
best descriptor.
Oh wow!
Whoa, you could have an infinite amount of models if you could have someone who could actually like change. That's cool.
Exactly. That's what I'm looking for. The ultimate painting.
Is it true that like a drop of changing blood is worth like a bajillion gold?
You're thinking of doppelgangers again. Al leans over.
I've heard tell that it could be used for things that people would want to do for malicious reasons. Not what I'm looking for, but yes. So I would assume very
Can I
valuable.
insight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Side check.
Dang.
Actually, can I as well?
Only 6.
Yes. Anybody who wants to can.
All right.
Only a 6. Oh,
16.
I got a. Oh yeah, you beat me. I got a 6, but I threw my
19.
dice back because I was like, whatever. And then it was a 20. It lands on the other one. I was like,
Should have. What was yours, Zinnia? And Ren's was 19.
16.
Truly, he's got that like depraved artist look about him. That's a starving artist. He's not very like well kempt. He's just he looks like he needs the work. Is the best way to describe it. And maybe that he's been looking for this perfect muse for a long time. I don't know. Nothing throws you off about this guy.
Okay, well,
Nothing
have a
like-
great night.
You too. Sorry for
Yeah.
bothering again.
Unless, and then Ren stops unless she has more to say, and then otherwise, I'm done with
Oh.
this conversation.
I was just wondering, wouldn't they be like super expensive to hire anyways? Like, I don't know. Seems like a rare skill set. Expensive one at that.
I agree. That's why I gotta meet one, and hopefully they would just want to be such a perfect muse. But obviously anything that can turn into anything is hard to find. That's why you specifically said the word, so I wondered. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, have a nice night.
If you hear one, let me know. I would love to meet him.
Sure, and we'll go to the moons one day.
Never know.
as
He
we're
turns
walking up to
back.
the room with our snacks and our drinks and stuff, How turns to like, and he pauses. Guys, I have a new deep secret. I can't actually do a kickflip. I lied to that guy.
As you all grab your ale and your cheeses, basically a whole quarter wedge of cheese, a couple loaves of freshly baked bread, not the milk honey bread, just actual bread, and some thinly sliced ham to head up to the rooms to talk. As you head on up there, you go up to the room that Ren stayed in, since Ren is the one who specifically wants to kind of make this chat happen. Ren's bed, very unkempt from how it was left the night before, as everyone joins together around the bed. as Robert called shotgun as he sits, or not shotgun, short bow, as he sits down.
Short bow's so good, dude. Are we allowed to give our GM inspo for that? Because I love that. The speed of calling short bow to sit by someone, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dang.
You were
I
so
declared.
fast on
That was-
correcting yourself.
Yeah.
I can't have more than one, but I wish I did, because I will take that one happily, because that was pretty quick.
That was good. That was
That was super
very
fast.
good.
As-
How while he's in the room, he's gonna set up. He's got like little wall hook things that he sets up, and Hal's gonna set up his little hammock that he likes, and then he's gonna sit in his hammock, and I'm gonna start transcribing scrolls, because I can do a light activity while I do that. So Hal's gonna be kind of talking over his shoulder, and I'm gonna start with floating disc, because floating disc won't take nearly as long,
Okay.
and then I'll work on the other spell this evening. But I should be able to complete floating disc in an hour by the time this conversation's done, I believe.
Awesome. As you all sit down in the room, Celine just kind of stands nearby where your hammock is now set up. Ren, your room is thoroughly trashed by the large amount of people in this small room now, but it was kind of trashed from before. As you all kind of gather around, you still have this burlap bag with a cinched rope around it in your hand that Hal passed on to you. What is everybody doing?
I'm currently just holding the bag, waving it around, like pointing at people, like we need to talk about
I'm ready to
things.
talk.
Sure. Before, right. I plan. All right. Itinerary, agenda for today's meeting.
Mhm.
Ren, I think you should have a seat. Just to chill.
Robert
and
does
I'm
the pat on the bed next to him.
Right.
Ren, you can sit in the hammock with me if you want to. It's comfy.
No
All
offense,
right.
Robert. That bed's seen a lot lately, so I'd rather not. And
Nice.
First and
What do you mean?
Let's see. While Ren crawls into the hammock, Hal's now leaning over, still transcribing the scroll, like faced by Ren. Yes, explain to the man who split the bread unevenly what happened in that bed.
What happened in the bed?
Robert,
Yes, Ania, your hands indicated it pretty well right there.
unholy things, Robert. Unholy things.
No! As you basically say that to Zinnia, Robert says, "Good God, man!
right.
Oh!
Hey! No judgment.
Judgment.
Yeah, what?
Even though
Very
I
much.
What
judge
happened?
you.
You could have said something. I already said. I patted my hand on it, man.
Judgment.
Doesn't-
And Celine, I know you've been a little quiet. It's just Hal had a lot of fun last night with an
No,
acquaintance.
I know what happens. I'm not
I
Robert.
was just clarifying.
Can we not?
I
Talk about this.
I understand what that meant. I'm not.
Hey, Ren, you're in the judgment-free hammock now. Don't you worry. And how well he starts making it swing.
All right. So I'd like to preface by saying before you open that bag, it was all Hal. I was just along for the ride. I really didn't have anything to do with it besides accompanying him to the store.
And Zinnia is a modest liar and helped me pick things out to make the bag nice. What's in the bag? You know. Zinnia helped. Don't let Zinnia worm their way out of this. Zinnia's trying not to be sentimental. This is as much from Zinnia as it is me.
Okay.
But monetarily, it came off from Hal.
And
Ren starts
emotionally-
opening this bag to get them both to stop.
As you look inside, Ren, you're greeted immediately by the brightness of the cherry red dyed leather backpack with all of the fixins of a scroll or a map keeper's pack. It itself is gorgeous. It will definitely stand out in a crowd, but that's not a bad thing. Sometimes flashy things are great. You know, you have glamoured attire. This kind of fits right up your alley. And there's several scrolls already in the bag.
Boonk. And I start pulling them out.
As you take a look, what was described before is in all of the scrolls. Ren kind of looks and unrolls them. You see a map that leads from here, Queenstown, directly up to the crossroads, and it has all sorts of where small houses, crossings are in between here and the larger town. There's a map of a nearby forest, which you think, wow, would have been very helpful on my way down to Elfinvale. As you also see a map of your hometown, Kern, here. This, you could probably spot a few inaccuracies from somebody who doesn't live there, somebody who just mapped things out. This is called the the residential district. You kind of chuckle internally at that before rolling it back up. But added 3 new maps and a quite nice gift.
Thank you. It's very nice. I like
You're welcome. We know.
This is going to be helpful. But we still need to talk about how there's an assassin.
Deepest, darkest fear. Oh.
How there's an assassin that's coming to murder you, and how one of my deepest, darkest secrets is that I made a deal with him that he would leave us alone until we got to Kern.
A secret doesn't count if I have it too. But yeah.
It's a double secret now.
Yeah, okay. But yeah. He said he'd back off while we go to Kern, but once we're in Kern,
Oh, that's rough.
and the only ones he wanted was Pepper and you, Zania. But Pepper's gone. So
You would also notice Ren's kind of holding on to the maps, like nice and tight, while having this conversation, pointing fingers.
All in his hand is
I mean, I don't think that's a deep, dark secret. I think you did what had to be done, and you bought me time. I don't see anything wrong about that at all.
Okay, so it's not a deep, dark secret, but yes, we need to talk about how there's an assassin that's going to kill you when we get to Kern. Are we still going to Kern? And what is happening?
Spade would stay true
What
to
do
his
you-
word, I bet. I would put my honor on it. He helped me. So that's good to know, but also concerning that he was here and spoke to you. Those are the things that you should tell us, Ren. How, especially. Talk.
I would have, but there was a dragon and cultist and things trying to murder us. And if I recall, immediately after the dragon escaped, I came back down and said this exact statement back there.
I mean, shock is a hell of a drug. We did just have this conversation today, if that helps, Robert. We weren't hiding it from you guys. He stopped by the Red Wagon Inn earlier, sat with us, and then we went to the bookstore. Yes, Ania, by your expression, a lot has happened today.
A lot.
So, yeah.
What I just want to know is, Zinnia, you were the original person left in this group that started this group. What are you doing?
I mean, it's kind of odd. You think I would be mourning my other 2 friends I've lost. But I don't know. I think after losing my friends Gideon and Team, who you 2 have never met, I might be realizing now that mourning and worrying it's great for a period of time, and I mean, there's nothing I can really do now for Pepper and Summer, and worrying about them isn't going to bring them back, and I think I just need to move forward. Sorry, all over the place, but regarding, I don't know, I'm kind of not afraid of death anymore. I kind of would be glad to see my two friends. I think they might be having a good time wherever they are. I have a feeling they are, but I don't know. I think I'll just take it as it is, take it day by day, and if we get to Kern and he wants to kill me, then I'll fight to the death.
I mean, you'll have help. I had a plan that when we got to Kern, that Marcus would help get rid of him. I don't mean kill him. I just mean if, per se, we were to teleport to your homeland and have him teleported, I don't know, maybe on the other side of the world, that would get rid of him for a while.
For a while, and it's just a band-aid on top of doom.
But I mean,
I don't
with
know.
every band-aid comes time for healing. So, say we
And that
we do this plan, send him across the world. Then what do you want to do if we go somewhere? We can help you ease his mind. He wanted that, it was that, the Kinak or whatever, and this spear. Is there any way of making amends with that guy?
I think it was a trident, wasn't it?
It was a sun spear. The sun spear. It's with a dragon now. How am I gonna get it from a dragon? I mean, I'm a walking target for I don't know how many people, maybe people I might even know about, or has a target on my back, and that just means that anyone associated with me is also going to have one on their back too, and I don't think it's worth it.
I mean, Zania, you're talking to a changeling and a head of one of the weirdest cults on this planet. You think you really want to just lose us because of targets on our back? There hasn't been a single place we haven't been where we're not looked at funny. We're not just gonna leave because of that.
I appreciate that. If any of you got hurt because of me, I would not forgive myself at all.
Rin starts laughing. It's like, I have already been hurt because of this group.
Well,
I'm still here.
right? In this group, and I'm the remaining one, so it's really all on me.
I mean, but here's the thing. I don't mean to brag. And Hal's leaning back with his arms in the air now. I made a demon beat the crap out of those guys while you guys were dealing with a guy with his sparkly fingers. So if anyone's gonna get hurt, it's you guys.
I mean, what, you really want to deal with me and whatever I would potentially bring onto you? It can't be worse than a house. You guys don't get that reference. Never mind.
What?
Also, to answer your first question, we really want to deal with you? Yes. If we were in its circle of Druid Enclave, we could have left then. We went up against a bunch of archers who shot us from a long distance, and I got pelted and I saw death at the end. But guess what? Surprise, I am here. We went through a town and we saw a shadow dragon. Congratulations. We are sitting here having honey mead together. It is going to take so much more than life's weird, strange things than to just abandon you. Yeah, there's less people around, but guess what, Zania? We are here to stay if you want us to. That's the key.
Thank you, guys. I mean, I'm gonna stop making excuses. One last thing I have to say. I know Ren has been having terrible, no good, very bad consecutive days, and I just don't want that to keep happening. I want to see Ren smile.
It will keep happening, but that would keep happening whether I'm in this group or I'm not. I just
That's
have
true.
really shit luck.
Also, Zania, it's time you get in the hammock. Come on, bring it in.
mean,
Hal's now reaching over Ren and trying to pull Zania to give a group hug in the hammock.
I'm heavier than I look. I'm okay. I'm gonna make myself as small as possible to try not to rip anything.
Robert is going to come up
Oh god.
to Ren in the hammock. All three of you are kind of laid, curled up next to each other. Celine is just looking in the back, like, if I had a camera. But Robert comes up and looks at the three of you, where he looks at Ren kind of in the back, trying to hide from Robert, basically. Like, please don't look at me. As he says, come here. Come here.
Okay.
As you kind of crawl over the top of Hao and Zinnia onto the other side of this hammock to sit up straight. As all three of you kind of like sit up at the moment. Robert grasps you on the shoulders. Says, look at me. Ren. Look me in the eye. In the eye, Ren. He grasps you like by the back of the neck and like looks you inches away from his eyes. And you could see the very, very, what you thought were black eyes, it's just a very, very deep purple. He gets right close to you. Zinnia and Hao begin to see magic pouring out of Robert's fingers. He says, you'll be fine. We're here to protect you, friends. You're gonna be fine, my friend. No more very good bad days. Before Robert kind of puts his forehead to yours and casts heroism on you. So you're immune to being frightened and gain some extra health for a little bit. It's more for flavor to try and kind of get Ren out of a funk. Or he says, unless you get on that bed. Before he goes back over to Celine, leaving the three of you in the hammock to kind of chill for just a little bit.
You see Ren's arm flop out of the hammock and prestidigitation on the bed. It looks clean, pristine. Any stains are gone. Everything
Stains,
clean.
huh?
Hal leans right up to Ren's ear.
No amount of magic is gonna fix that.
I'm
The
still
other
not.
hand pops out like double prestidigitation.
At that, we're going to pause. It is 7:57. Let's come back at 8:05. So 8 minutes from now seems like a good place. During that time, we're going to come right back and do the giveaway and then go right back into it. So if you haven't entered the giveaway yet, make sure you're following, do !LUD so that you can enter to win a chance at those amazing Siren Dice from the Infinidice Kickstarter. So if you haven't done so yet, make sure you do. But until then, enjoy the bop that is such the calming song from Words Mythologic, and we will be right back. It's just all training. Hey everybody, welcome back.
Oh, we're back.
Drew
We're
was
back, we're back.
bleeping me and counting me in with the beep beep. If you show him, Drew, as you also get us ready for. There we go. As you also get us ready for the giveaway that is these amazing Infinidice of the Siren set, which was such an awesome Kickstarter. Very glad that they allowed me to be a part of that one. And
Cast.
I got to review them. So
Can I ask for a drum roll, please? Kitty Jaws!
Kitty Jaws! Kitty Jaws, you getting some pretty dice. I don't know how to make that better, but congratulations, Kitty Jaws. Make sure you respond to your email so that Drew can get me your info so that I can mail you some dice. Boom.
Yeah.
Also, next giveaway, which go ahead and tell me when that's live so I can enter it.
It's live!
It's live. Boom. Oh man, I was. Dang it! No. There we go. I'm first. If I win, I'm gonna give it to somebody else, but I definitely want to feel like I won. If I be like, oh, I finally won something on here, right? Great. Anybody have
Not
anything
everyone
else?
can be a Jakey popping in for their first time and winning right off the bat.
I will win tonight. I'm saying it now.
Right, well, it's like saying, I'm going to win the lottery one day. I don't play it, but one day I'm going to win it.
But one day. I use my lucky numbers. Whatever random numbers show up, those are my lucky ones because I'm always going to win the lottery every time I play. In my mind, I cannot be convinced otherwise that maybe this really is the time.
I think people really want this hoodie. We're already at 50 people that have entered.
Gosh dang.
Can't even catch up with chat.
Right. Awesome. Well, let's get right back into it. We stopped with Robert doing a wholesome and then Ren cleaning up an unwholesome with some prestidigitation. If you win, a new god should be born. Deal. I like that idea better. Right. Where we stopped. Ren, you just prestidigitated the bed as Celine and Robert both kind of give a That's not as how does no amount will ever clean that up, as we'll continue right from there. What is the general plan for everybody? Is there still desire to be in here and talk about things, or is there a desire to the day pass and just get some rest? You can talk about that in character if you'd like, or if there's a general, Ryan, don't make me go through more of this day, I want to go to sleep, then that's viable as well.
I would like to know what happened with the two of you getting out of there.
Oh,
Like, did it go well?
so I summoned another demon. And that demon distracted the guards that went down because the lady that I spared from the cult decided to say that we were the cultists. So yeah, like the cultist I'm not, I summoned a demon, and they went down and fought it. Fortunately, it was a demon that looked similar to the Shadow Dragon, and now that lady who we let live is arrested and being questioned. But they just asked we stay in town for a bit so they could ask us things. But they said we're not detained, so we get to leave whenever we want. So
But the guard might
that's
be
some
showing up at the
Yes.
Red Wagon Inn's doorstep.
that's true. Yes, they might come to question us, but it's more so of just like in case they find any discrepancies. But we pointed out that there was cult-like books. They were worshiping a dragon. I mean, we didn't really leave anything out. So I think we were honest, which was weird. The only lie was, that I summoned a demon. But yeah.
You hear the whispers taunt you in your head, How? Based on what was just said.
I definitely saw. How just keeps writing in his little book of shadows.
So, guard might be coming here.
Also, did you kill
Yeah.
guards with the other demon that you summoned? Because that's...
No, maybe. No, no, because I lost control of the demon. I told the demon to wreck the room, so the demon broke control, and the demon made its own choices.
Right, but if you brought the demon... Do I need to go check with the guards to see if anything happened?
No. But here's the thing,
No.
Robert. If you bring a guy to a party, and that guy decides to wreck the party by pushing someone over, yeah, it looks bad on you. You brought the crappy guy to the party, but you didn't push the person over.
And you were never there anyway, so it's not your concern.
Exactly. We weren't even there.
Was the guy you brought to the party a demon? Because there could have been an indication that he might have been prepared to push people over at the party.
I mean, people who push people at parties, they have their own demons going on. You can't tell really on a surface level if someone is an arse or not.
Hold on, pause. Is that the one British word How says?
Yeah?
When you went
Okay.
over my head, what word was it?
Arse.
Arse instead
Oh.
of us. Arse instead of booty. Americans say booty.
Yeah, sorry. House says thickums bootiums instead of butts.
Right.
Well, as long as everyone's okay, you swear they're okay?
I mean, when I lose control of the demon, it gets pulled back to wherever it's from within 30, 40 seconds. So they would have only seen it, and from their perspective, it just teleported back home. In 30 seconds, yeah, a lot can happen, but those guards were pretty heavily armored. I don't think anyone died. They might have
And-
gotten a little roughed up, but
We were semi-interrogated before we were allowed to leave, and we heard them yell from below that there were cultists in books, so they couldn't have yelled from down below if they weren't alive.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay. Trust you then. But again, if you're going to summon a demon, just tell me I can stop that urge for you.
I do have an extra vial of their blood in case I wanted to sometime today. It was just very accessible.
Hand it to me, I'll dispose of it so that you don't have to worry.
But what if I need it?
I'll hold on to it for you. And then if you need it, I'll talk to you.
Do you promise you'll give it back?
Uh-huh.
Robert, did you just try and lie to me?
I did, but I
Robert,
didn't
you
like it. I just...
Robert,
it
I
feels like
watched
a-
you look at the ground, then you looked at a wall. You looked at me, you looked at the ground again, you looked at the wall, and then you said, uh-huh.
It just feels like we shouldn't have it, is all, and I was gonna throw it away.
But Robert, you just tried to lie to me to defend me from this?
But I wanted to do
Awesome.
it for detecting
Hal
what
opens
was-
the window and he throws the vial.
As you're like respect as you open the door, and you just don't even look. You just toss the vial out.
Right out the window, it just goes... It's only like this big, though.
It was a Wilhelm bottle. Did you take the blood of Wilhelm? Yes, the illusionist that you all killed downstairs.
Wilhelm! He was 5 days from retirement!
That was the Wilhelm family that you took the blood from and killed in the illusionist room. As you respect, you throw it out as it goes flying, and you hear a. Is it? You look out and you see a broken vial of blood on a nearby wall from the other building that's across from where your window is. It's not an inn, must be somebody's house. Whoopsies. Before you close the door behind and don't look back.
Anyway, thanks, Robert. Your attempt to lie actually is helpful.
I might have a new darkest secret. By the way, sorry, I don't like doing that.
Oh,
Lying
what
for
would
a
that
good reason is good. Well,
Yes.
not always, but, you know.
Lying, Zinnia, I just can't do it. Sorry. I won't do it again, though.
Oh man, I just thank you for segueing back to the conversation I've been wanting to restart, Robert. Ren.
Yes.
Oh, deep dark secrets. Let's go. How runs back and jumps into the hammock.
Gets like inches from Ren.
You don't want to hear it. It's
If it makes you feel comfortable, I can start.
Yes.
Yes.
Done.
All right.
Everyone-
Wait, we haven't even
Okay.
cracked in the honey mead yet. Come on.
Oh,
I'm going to
right.
waddle over and I'm going to start get everyone their drinks and their little plates. Their little plates of snacks and stuff. How make sure there's like plenty on them. But how definitely the grapes and fruits and stuff, how kept most of that on his own plate. And when he walks by Robert, like he does like tries to cover his plate so Robert doesn't see that How took more of the fruit.
He grabs more of the meat anyway, don't worry about it.
Heck yeah. It was more so because of the whole his story about breaking bread with his brother, not because I thought he wanted the fruit.
Imagine like a plate full of like sliced deli like ham meant for sandwiches, and Robert just grabs like a fistful.
Yes, Zinnia. Tell us.
Oh goodness gracious! Why did I get so nervous all of a sudden? All right, I have two. One when I was about maybe 11 years old. This at the time was my deepest darkest secret. Gather in. It was about the last half of our, I guess, school you can call at the Sunset Mountains, right?
Yeah.
And probably in a class of like one of 20 of us Leonin kittens, and we got our grades for the end of the semester, the half. I didn't do my homework. Robert, you okay? I'm so sorry. This is probably a really boring story. And I
I wasn't
hid my
yawning, I was
grades.
coughing. I just turned the mic off. Sorry if it looked like I was like, oh, I was like, continue.
I hid my grades under a rock and I didn't tell my parents. And somehow that teacher died and never knew about my bad grades, and I got away with it.
Yo, I thought it was just hiding your grades, but you haven't told them that you had
I
bad
did.
grades, and your teacher died too.
Are you
I didn't
qualified to produce
I
the
didn't
magic
kill
that you
her.
do?
I didn't kill her. I didn't kill her.
Is that your second deep dark secret?
I did not kill her.
Why do you keep saying that?
No.
Zinnia, make eye contact with me and tell me you didn't kill her.
I did not kill her.
I'm gonna roll an
Oh
insight
my
as Robert.
god.
3.
You didn't kill her. suggesting
Al's
that she
insight was
did.
19 plus. I don't think I have any wisdom. Yeah, 19 flat.
19. Zinnia is like the guilt from hiding her grades is so bad it makes her seem like she's lying, but she's not lying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
God told you she's not. Obviously, you wouldn't kill. You would kill.
you that of me? How?
Oh no, I don't
Oh.
think that of you. I mean,
Oh.
I think that I don't know. I'm glad that you opened up and felt like you could share that with us.
Well, it's for selfish reasons because I want to hear Ren's. All right, second story. All right, now this one. I was 16, and this is kind of what all of us had to do, part of the coming of age. You are sent into the forest by yourself, and you have to live on your own for a week. Hunting, gathering, surviving. And it was second to last day. I haven't had food in 2 days. I couldn't find anything that wasn't poisonous. And there was a baby lamb by itself, injured, stuck on a tree branch. And I had to kill the baby lamb to eat it to survive. And I watched the life drain out of that baby lamb in order to feed me. And I don't know, it still haunts me sometimes at night, but it was something I had to do. And I don't feel good about it.
It's a rough one. I understand. I hope that you feel better by getting it out of you. Keeping something like that in is rough.
It's a little hard because you get looked at as this like huge cat, and it kind of plays into, I don't know, some type of, I assume, stereotype people have of you already, that you're some type of monster, and I don't know, I feel like I fed into that.
Robert
Literally and
grabs his horn that rears back, and
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you guys feel any better, you are probably the most kind and noble people I've ever met. Monster is the farthest thing from what I'd call you.
Thank you.
You.
But I don't know. Talking about it makes me feel dirty about it again.
Oh, no, this is a good thing. You shouldn't have to keep these secrets to yourself. Zinnia, having shared them, a weight on your shoulder shared is a weight lessened. Feel better.
Thank you, Robert. I think I need to remember that.
Now, obviously, we all want to hear what Ren did. But we have another in the room.
as he looks over to Celine. And this is the part where I make Hayden's backstory whatever I want it to be. Hey, if you haven't heard Hayden Daviow, she's an amazing voice actress, and she does not approve of this message, as Celine says. If I share, Ren, will you?
It really needs to be a good deep dark secret, because I'm gonna be really honest, I haven't heard one that's gonna compare to mine.
Wait, me summoning a demon and taking the corpse of someone's mom to make a monster isn't a deep dark secret? Whatever your secret is, it sounds awesome. But also remember, we're sharing because we want to. If at any point you don't feel safe to speak, Ren, don't. We're bugging you and poking at you and stuff, but this is a safe space if you want to share, and it's also a safe space if you don't. The second you say no, it is your choice. I know we're being playful and fun, and we want to hear your deep dark secret and stuff because we want to get to know you, but I hope you know that you're safe.
When I was younger, I annihilated 3 families.
I'm sure you had good reason.
There were They were full families,
What happened?
and they had learned that I was a changeling, and this is before I knew Marcus, and it was bad. And I haven't even told Marcus this.
You had to do what you had to do to survive.
I did more than what I needed to do.
Why?
Don't know.
Witnesses are witnesses.
It only needed to be 3 people, and I went after their whole families.
How do you know that they didn't tell their families?
I don't.
Exactly.
That's a heavy one. Ren, I want you to know my perception of you, and I hope I speak for the others, but I can't. It has not changed in the slightest. Yeah, that is a deep, dark secret. You told us something that's probably been shackles on your ankles for a long ass time. But at least now we can help you while you're walking with that.
Hal's gonna go back into his bag and pull out that comb again, and Hal's gonna just like with Ren's permission start doing Ren's hair again in Ren's new form.
Yeah.
The room sits silent as Sinia and Hao comfort Ren for a moment. Before Celine says, I didn't have anything to top that. So I'm glad you didn't. You're mine. Sorry. That happened to you and to them.
Celine, if you would like to, you don't have to. If you do want to share, this is still an open space. We're talking, and honestly, even if it's something like you took too much bread, or you hit a grade or something, if it's something that affects you, and you want to share with us, it's valid here. Yeah, like there is baggage, but it's not about how much the baggage weighs. It's the fact that it exists with us.
I have no problem telling you all, honestly. You don't know them, and it was a decade ago. There's no even repercussions that could come of it now. But I just don't talk about it much, and it's just something that I think about, but trying to be better. At about the time that my powers started kind of manifesting and my connection to Nimbus change, and she kind of like pulls on the feathers that are on her, that happened. I knew I could heal things using that gift if I needed to, and hurt some things with magic. But I saw a small farmer's boy that used to pick on me. He broke his leg trying to chase after me one time. He used to throw rocks at me for making fun of my feathers, and I could have healed him, but I didn't. I just went back to the village and pretended I didn't know what happened, and so that was really it. He had to lose the leg because he was out there for so long, so that's kind of the bad part to it. I could have helped him. I felt like I probably should have taken the higher road, but I was a kid. It doesn't bother me that much. But it up there with the worst, so I'd call that my deepest secret. But obviously, Ren, and I don't mean this to point back at you, but just obviously you've dealt with worse, so it just doesn't feel like something I even should complain about. So hope that you're doing okay with what you're doing and learning to live and be better. But not that it was wrong of you, but you know what I mean.
Celine, you don't have to apologize for having stuff that weighs on you. Just because like someone's had something that air quote worse or whatever, that's something that happened to you. That's part of your life. It's yours. And you don't have to feel ashamed about sharing it. or even that it happened necessarily. But yeah,
I'm fine. Truly, honestly, I'm fine. Just don't talk about it often, and it's something that just kind of wakes you up at night every now and again. But truly, I'm fine. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think you can help everyone all the time, Celine, and I don't think it should weigh on you. I mean, if you couldn't, and I don't know, it's not like that person was your direct responsibility or anything, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. Help make me better. I think about it and try and be better. So,
Right. Not to bring it back to Ren, but Ren, I don't think you should feel as guilty as you do about it.
I do though. One of them was the cleric for the town, and they had no one left. So it's just a whole like for that portion of Kern, like that was their. They were bad people, but their families weren't. It is what it is.
I
If
mean,
we have
Apple
a guard coming though, I think we should talk about what we're doing and what our plan is.
Sure. If you want to talk about something else, that's okay. Whatever you need.
Yeah.
Well, the guard said they'd come and question Zinnia and I. They gave us like quite a bit of side eye, so I don't know if it's either one of us they like want to question more. But they just asked that we stay in town, but they acknowledged that we're travelers, and they didn't say there's a timeline per se on that. So we could leave as early in the morning if we wanted to, or stay, but we could just answer questions if they come by, but they might not even. So
I whip open the new thing of maps and pull them open and start looking. So, if we want to get to Kern and get there quicker, and then I'm gonna look at different routes again now that we're in Queenstown on best to get there.
now that you're
we
in
also
Queens,
have the horses.
you do. There is the road that goes through the crossroads, and since you now have horses, you might be able to take that and go as fast as it would have taken you to go on foot through the forest upwards, or rent a boat to go across the lake. But you could also take the horses through the forest as well. There is a path that leads through the forest that you absolutely could take. There are dangerous things nearby in the forest, and so getting through in a day or two would be ideal. You definitely wouldn't want to stay there. As a little amount of time as possible would be ideal. But it's definitely the fastest route. It would probably save you 3 days if you just go directly through the forest using the horses, or sans the horses if you don't want to use the horse. That's the fastest route. Now that you have a map, you might have a better time navigating your way through and avoiding trouble. There is also the crossroads. It is a minor hub of trade that takes things from the north and brings them down, and it's kind of a pseudo Kern. A lot of trade is done here, but it's all governed under the colonies. It is not free trade like Kern. Taxes and things to be paid here. But it's a nice spot to be. Very open, very accepting of everyone and everything, as long as it follows under the Queen's rules. You could take any way that you'd like.
Question game wise, we got the horses and they have saddles and stuff. We don't have a cart or anything with them, do we?
Nope, just the 5 black horses.
Okay.
And there's 5 of us. And they
No
were
one
roommates.
has to share. And they were roommates. Hello, Vine user. As yeah, there are 5 of you, and no longer anybody has to share with salt or pepper, depending on what they were feeling like. What's the plan?
I could become a gnome if I wanted to. I could have been the small one on the horse.
True. You convey the information that was just described
Yeah.
to the rest of the group.
What would y'all like to do? I have this all mapped out on possible ways to get there. I'm leaving it up to you. I trust you. Where are we going?
I would like to save 3 days.
Getting to Kern quicker might be a good idea.
But then that also cuts off 3 days from my lifespan potentially. I'm just kidding.
I don't think that'll be an issue.
Okay. How?
What's the plan?
What do you think?
Like I said before, yeah, it's up to you. I'm gonna help you however I can. So if you think going to Kern the fastest route is the best way, that's where I'm going. I care about you guys.
I mean, I would like the fastest, but also, is it the safest? Sorry. I need visual assistance.
It's not the safest.
I can pull the map up
Yes.
for people if they need it as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, let me make it a little bit bigger for everybody else as well. Sorry, y'all are going to see some
I
weird
should
things
look
on
at-
stream.
I should look at the stream.
So, as in the very center of the map, they are currently at Queenstown. Above them is the Queen's Woods that they could take that would go up Falkirk. Oh, I didn't mean to grab it that time. They would go up through the woods. They'd go to Falkirk, go to Penkirk, Glanchester, and get to Kern very quickly. Or they could take the safe road and go up the crossroads near and go by the Time Scar and go to Penance, then Falkirk, etc.
Oh, goodness.
I would have loved to have looked at the map, but since I opened up Twitch, I got an ad instead and didn't get to see anything of what you just described.
You have the map
I will
ready,
bring up
available
my
to go.
own map.
I was going to say, you have the file.
I will bring up my own map.
Map goes,
I sent it
wee.
to you. I mean, I don't know. We don't know anything of the Queenswood, right? We don't know if our friendly giant elves are going to be protectors of that or a completely different type of enemy.
Ren, you have the map of the Queenswood if you'd like to look at some of the possible threats you could encounter that are at least marked.
There we are. Yes, please.
Okay, roll a survival for me at advantage because you have the map.
And how? Oh, well, that's an 18
We'll also
so
use
far.
guidance.
And
Plus
okay,
D4.
so an 18 and a 14. So I'm gonna take that 18 plus 4, 22.
Oh, you don't have any bonus to survival?
No, that was a plus 4.
Oh, I also
so
added a
it's
D4 because
Guidance.
guidance.
Hold on. Hey, ha! 27.
22 to 27, eh? With a D4?
Did I say 22? I rolled a 3. So that's 25. I'm math.
25. As you take a look down at the map, the
27.
the colonies of the Queen are marked, and their knights exist for many reasons. One such reason is to protect the people from the dangers of the woods and the nearby mountains. The Queenswood are very well maintained. There's not a lot of danger present in there, besides the dangers that are a bit too difficult for them to handle without sending a large force out there, or something that just kind of recurs on it. Some such dangers include giants that live in the woods. Giants are very difficult for mounted troops to handle, especially giants that have been there for a very, very long time. There are also dens out there for particularly dangerous elk. You think, elk, why would that be dangerous? But Ren, you've traveled through these areas before.
They have guns.
GFY. You haven't had one in a while. You know you need one.
Man, the biggest thing I'm most scared of in Dungeons and Dragons is an elk with a Glock.
Just That's a 9-point buck right there, and it.
It's
Oh
all
my god!
changed
It's
to
got my M4s. How was it shooting there?
Blastoise, is that you?
I will take that GFY with pride.
You earn it. As the elks in these woods are large. They drink from the streams that the druids that once lived here bathed the Queen's Woods in. These elks are vast creatures and large creatures. Not nearly as dangerous as, say, the giants, but they are still something that you would probably want to avoid. Or want to hunt. Depends on your mood. Pixel gets a GFY, 12-point buck shot. Ugh, love it. Making my way downtown with my... I love that version. That's the silencer. Boom, 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 boom. That's the grenade launcher. Sorry, I love that version. If you haven't heard that one, absolutely check out 1,000 miles or 100 miles or whatever it's called, gun version. Or gangster version. Anyway, you identify the threats, Ren.
What about riding up the coast of the Royal Bay in between the Queenswood?
Definitely possible. Are you trying to go through the Sprite Woods or stick on the Royal Bay and try and ride the coast by Queenswood?
Yeah.
Okay.
The second part.
You could definitely do it. Coastline might be a little safer than the dense part of the forest. Might have more luck that way.
That is what I suggest to the group. If we're going to do it, I think this might be the safest way of doing it. As we have, I would assume, a lesser chance of encountering giants and scary elk.
I mean, Zinni, I defer to your judgment, but so far this sounds like a sound plan.
I think so too. I mean, and I'm not a native to the area, so I kind of trust your judgment.
Should we leave first thing in the morning or set out now?
First thing in the morning would probably be best, but that's just my assumption of not wanting to go through the woods at night and end up in a druid's circle again. Not that there might be any, but I don't do good in woods at night.
Fair.
And then Rin's like in front of their eyes.
Right.
Fair enough. To the morning then. Dean kind of takes a drink and sets it down on the table in your room.
Well, good night, guys.
Hal's gonna keep transcribing his scrolls, but he's not gonna move from his hammock.
Oh.
You know what? Rin's injured enough and tired enough. Rin's just gonna fall asleep there. You get a buddy in the hammock tonight.
Right. We're probably safe
One.
enough to go in our own rooms, right?
I was gonna say the bed's
Probably.
there, but probably better off in your own room.
Just in case the guard come here too to question, I don't want to be associated with you guys. No offense. Just in case. I'll be in my own room. I don't want to drag you down with me. I'll be down the hall.
Much appreciated. As Zinnia and Celine leave to go off to their respective rooms, Robert stops and says,
How can you give us the room for just a moment and then come right back in?
You know what? How about Ren? Sleep in the hammock. It served me well. I'm going to spend the night writing anyway, so I'm not going to be falling asleep anytime soon. Knock on my door, though, if you do want to hang out. But, yeah, you guys chat. I can send messages and stuff.
And I'm gonna pitter patter over to my room, and yeah, I'm gonna finish transcribing my other spells.
as Hao heads on to another room, Robert goes and kind of closes the door behind Hao, but he never really turns around to look at you. As he just leans his head down.
We can do better, Ren. What you mentioned for you did was very, very wrong. But we can use it to be better. I didn't share fully, and I'm not ready to yet.
He grabs the door knob and says,
Heracles, Roster, Kent Dragon.
before he opens the door and closes the door behind and leaves to his roam.
To Red, that makes no sense at all, but for Drew, I'm tearing up.
As Ren, you find yourself left in the room. How right before you even get in your room, you're just looking for the key. It did not take long. You're about to go in. Robert comes back out and says,
I told you, just a moment. Get back in.
That's
I only needed him
these
for a
are
moment.
tears. These are real tears.
Didn't mean to keep you from your work. To head to bed. We'll head off in the morning. If I oversleep, please wake me.
Sure thing. And Robert, you're really hard on yourself. And I want you to know that's admirable, but just remember, you're a strong guy. You can punch pretty hard. And you hit yourself probably harder than you hit anyone.
And Hal's gonna pat him on the shoulder and go in the room.
you head back in. You grab him by the shoulder. He grasps your hand before you move it away. He doesn't look at you. You just feel that your hand is being grabbed briefly, and you look back before he walks on to his room and closes the door. And, or how, you run back into where Ren is. Ren sitting there on the bed.
Hal doesn't know if it was like a heavy conversation or not, so Hal, completely misreading the room, runs across, jumps, lands in the hammock, and then pulls out his scroll stuff and starts like writing stuff
day,
down.
huh?
We've got
Okay.
weird friends, huh?
I'm not gonna lie, Hal. I thought he was about to murder me.
Well, that's why I
Like-
kind of stood near
like,
the door, because
It was
in case I heard
super
you scream.
ominous. and then he just said a name, but he never looked at me. That was really weird.
Maybe the name means something to him. Maybe he was saying it out loud, just
It
to
was a
say
cool
it
name.
out loud. Man, I really I'd say it's between you guys. I won't ask what it is. But if for some reason you write it down or something, I mean,
I think I'll respect whatever the name is that he gave me.
good call.
Or how begins.
Also-
Oh, go ahead.
Ren, there's been a lot of times over our travels and stuff, I've been scared that you've been you were ready to just go. So I'm glad you're staying. It was nice to be able to get a present for you instead of just thanking you awkwardly for all the stuff you do.
Thanks. It's really easy to leave when that's pretty much all you do.
I know.
And Bren's gonna go to sleep.
Ren pulls the covers back up and faces the other way as How continues to scroll on the scroll. Zinnia, you door and start getting ready to bed before you hear a
Who is it?
Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Oh yeah, hey, coming right in.
You open the door as Robert just comes in. Before, like, as soon as the door opens, he just kind of hugs. You're like, ah.
Oh, my hair's in like a bun. I'm like getting washed up for the night. Like, oh, hey, Robert.
Sorry.
Hey.
Just been emotional. Just good night.
No need to be sorry at all. Okay, good night.
He like shyly, very much so, goes back to his room. You see him walk down the hall, head just down, kind of the quick little fast-paced walk back over to his room. He fumbles with the keys for a little bit before unlocking the door and closes it behind him. You see like a glance as he looks up at you and kind of nods before closing the door.
All right. Okay. All right, Robert. Go back in, close my door.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Cool. As everyone is going to sleep, I need you to roll me a con saves.
This is where the Nothic comes in. Now that we've revealed our secrets.
For reminder of the thing, just in case it
Inspo
matters, I'm
first,
trancing
Jackie.
for
I have one, but I had to get up to let her in because she can't open the door. Everyone say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
You're so cute.
Also, I don't sleep. I trance, just in case that's relevant to anything.
Okay, fair enough. You just kind of
For 4 hours.
eventually enter just a state of deep meditation. Eyes still open, aware of everything that's going on. But even that, what was your con save?
12.
Zinnia?
18.
18. Ren?
13 plus 5, 18.
Solid. All of you get a wonderful night's sleep. Even the hammock, after everything that you've gone through, feels amazing. How even in the trance-like state, it's just bliss. Everything that's happened, all the bad that's gone on, it just feels good, honestly. A bit of brevity, a bit of wholesomeness, sharing, getting things off your chest. It feels good. Ren, this is incredibly deep sleep. More from that sense of worry where, like in real life, when you tell somebody something you really didn't want to, and I just want to get today over with. There is no waking up in the middle of the night for you. Everybody wakes at the light of dawn, hearing the crows, or the roosters crow in the distance. Verity's like, you just love trolling. Hearing the roosters crow in the distance finally wakes you up as the light is just setting onto the day. If you'd like to, you could head out at the earliest sign possible. Because you've got such a good rest tonight, everyone.
How goes outside a little early to test something. Now that he's done his thing, he stands and he looks at our horses, but How takes his book and starts reciting an incantation and tracing some symbols on the ground. And in the center of this appears this apple that looks to be like it has like different shapes and things moving across it, and whispers come from it. And How closes his eyes and holds it against his forehead, and when his eyes open, there is a illusory phantom steed in front of him that its mane is like billowing and moving different colors and shades of the wind, and it has like a almost like when How looks at it, he can see words appear into it. And he just walks around it, and he's gonna do like a good lap around the Red Wagon Inn to try like his new spell.
As everyone is kind of slowly getting up for the morning, How you saddle up onto your new shadowy mare and begin riding around the end. Do you try and hide the fact that you're on this shadowy apparition of a horse in any way, or strut your stuff?
How's gonna more so do it like just as like a... He's not really strutting or anything fancy, but I don't think he's being necessarily sneaky. I think he just wants to get like a feel for it. So he's probably in like whatever horse pen. He's just doing like a lap or two around with the horse, and then and if anyone's like staring at him, he's gonna stay on the horse because like it doesn't necessarily... It looks like a strange horse, but then when he hops off, he's gonna make the horse
based on what you
disappear.
described, it does look like a very strange horse to other people.
Oh yeah, it is strange, but I mean, if someone is just watching from the distance, I'm assuming they see like a large dark horse. If they're looking closer, I'm assuming it's like, yeah, okay, it's got a smoky mane and stuff.
Oh,
I'm saying like it doesn't have wings and
right. It's
in
not,
cup holders.
it is made of fire.
Yeah,
holders.
exactly.
As
In a fantasy world, cup holders would stand out.
fair enough, they definitely would. As you pull the apple to your head and just kind of suddenly look, and the phantom steed appears. You hear what sounds like a horse's neigh, but in reverse instead of like... I don't know how to do a reverse horse's neigh, but that's what it sounds like. Yeah. There's just this horse walking around like, eh. This horse is an old coal miners from the 1820s. As you hop on the horse. That is not what it sounds like, but it's yeah. As you do so, the stable hand that is in there as you walk by kind of moves to the back as you kind of give it a nod and walk out of the trot out of the stables and begin going around the inn itself. It's quite early. Not many people are up. Most of the people that are up are the merchants kind of setting up for the day. But there are definitely people who are walking around and see you on this horse and kind of give a look to you as you walk on by. No one particularly stopping you. It's not like magic is illegal in this area, but you definitely raise some eyebrows as you trot the horse around and back to the stables. While you're going around, let's go back to Ren and Zania. Robert is up and down at the tavern in the morning, just sipping on water with kind of both hands around the mug, with Celine near him as well. So Zinnia or Ren, whenever either of you choose to go downstairs, you're going to be met with your other two friends already. But let's start with Zinnia. What are you doing?
Zinnia is going to probably just get her full 8 hours, so we'll get up early and then look at her spell book, take some time to change some spells out, maybe a couple spells. And
Maybe
then
one
she
that you
will get
just
ready.
learned? Quote unquote.
I just
divinate that you talked with Celine about.
ah whoops.
What was that one more time?
Maybe
I didn't quite
yeah, so maybe 2 or 3, and then she'll go downstairs and get breakfast with the rest of the crew.
Okay. You head on down, greeted by a warm greeting from Robert and Celine. He kind of slides a mug over that he already has kind of waiting for people. I was outside, but we can grab some food before we go. Already bread and whatnot.
Got it. Where's everyone else?
Let's just Ren. I think he probably had a rough night or at that point. Ren, let's cut to you.
Okay.
Ren, you wake up. Hao is no longer in your room. You're not sure when he might have left, but you wake up alone. What are you doing?
Ren goes into their bag and pulls out the pipe for a moment and looks at the pipe and then puts it back in the bag and then gets up and gets dressed and goes downstairs.
Indigo, that's an inspo worthy one. I like that one. How's new horse? Hey. How, hey. That's inspo. That's not even GFY. That's inspo. And since Robert can also hear whispers, he's going to definitely suggest that. As Ren, you go down and you see Zania, Robert, Celine all sitting down, having breakfast, ready to kind of await you, all with their gear, packs strapped on near them, ready to go. What are you doing?
Well, shall we head off?
Robert picks up his pack and tosses you a kind of hard biscuit to have to eat on the road, and takes one last jug of water before putting it on the table and says, "On the road again."
I heard a bard sing a good song about that once, but I don't remember how it goes.
No, I was about to earn a GFY and I'm not going to.
Do it, coward.
Oh, I hadn't heard that song. Just before Robert heads on outside. Mirrodin, I gotta give them a point too. Inspo to them. All these great. Please, How, make an owl familiar with your new spell.
If I get the ritual cast for Find Familiar, I can.
Do it. Zinnia, you also heading out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You all head out, go towards the stables, knowing that How is already outside. But as you kind of begin gathering your horses and kind of familiarizing yourselves with your new beast, you hear odd odd hoof beats in your way, almost as if the hoof beats sound like they're coming in reverse, as if a record of hoofbeat sound is being played backwards as it approaches to you. It's strange. You can still identify what it is, but it's odd in your mind. As you see How riding this phantom version of your steeds with the black coat, silvery, shadowy mane going down it, as How sits atop it.
That's a cool
Hey.
looking horse.
Thanks. Magic made it.
I think I know the magic that made it.
Maybe. Ren, do you want to take a turn and ride on the magical horse?
Eventually, but I think we should get going so we don't lose daylight.
What are we
Fair
to
enough.
do with the fifth horse?
Hal snaps and his horse disappears, and he goes over to his real horse.
Lands on the ground as you walk over without a beat.
Okay, never mind.
That horse is in case we get in a pickle and we're in a dungeon or something. I could make that horse appear anywhere,
Horse in a dungeon.
right?
Okay, sounds great.
Robert, uncomfortable with that, having never ridden a horse before, looks very uncomfortable atop this horse. Everybody gonna ride a horse?
Yes.
Try to.
Beautiful.
Before I do, I would like to walk over to Zinnia first and say thanks for talking about that stuff last night. And I think you have one more secret that you don't really know about, and I think it's not necessarily a secret, but you never got to actually mourn your friend's death, and I think you should at some point in time take time to do that.
Yeah, but you're the one that said sometimes it's healthy to bottle things up.
Don't listen to me. I'm really bad at advice.
I mean,
So I don't know if you want to take this advice either, but either way.
I think it's right to do so. I don't know if I actually have the time. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I'm getting chased by an assassin right now, and we're kind of on the way to another city. So maybe one day when things calm down a bit.
Well,
Thank you,
just so
though.
you know, we have a deal with that assassin that until we get to Kern. So if you ever want to stop for a moment, let us know.
If anything, speaks out to me, maybe. But until then, we have a journey ahead of us, and we have something we got to do. So upwards and onwards.
Upwards
Let's
and
go.
onwards. As all of you, there's so many puns. I can't give GFYs to everybody in the chat. And I just started reciting genuine lyrics as everyone hops on the horses. Ren, you're planning to lead them directly to the Queenswoods, out of the city, and follow the coastline, correct?
Correct.
Okay. First thing, as you're heading out, you're still in Renesmee's form, correct? Did I say your name right? Am I thinking the wrong name?
It's for this Isabella. Sorry, you threw me off with
Isabella. For some reason, I was thinking Renesmee. Isabella.
It was the baby from Twilight.
Oh, isn't that like a name? I don't know. I
Yes.
just heard that before.
It's the baby from
I'm pretty
Twilight.
sure, yeah.
No. Well, Renesmee.
The horrible CGI baby.
Oh no, it was legit. Have you seen? There's like a mini documentary on it. It's like the scariest little baby. I'll
It's
flick
a
it to you
real
guys.
scary CGI baby. Anyway,
like-
sorry, continue.
Silicone. Sorry.
Oh, ew. That's worse. They did Yoda like 40 years
Silicone
prior.
baby.
Right. So, do you still look like Isabella then?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. As you all head towards the gate, first things first, I need everyone to roll me an animal handling.
Uh-oh. I rolled a 9.
I rolled a 9 plus 3.
Oh, all right.
I have no bonus, but I still got a 16.
Okay. Robert rolled very high, as did Celine. So,
Ooh. Question: could we have casted guidance on ourselves, the clerics? Because we're getting ready to.
You're not a cleric, but yeah,
Or I mean, the warlock
Yes.
and cleric that can use guidance.
yes.
That's an 18 now, +2.
15.
Uh-oh.
Right. As you all begin to ride towards the gate, Robert, an unnatural rider of this great large horse, seems to have some trouble for a minute before Robert basically pulls the reins and stops behind all of you as you all look back to see what Robert's doing. As Robert says,
All right, look. If we're going to get along, I'm just going to direct. You're going to have to listen. Afterwards, I will feed you. Go from there. Do we have a deal?
before the horse kind of bucks and Robert then trots ahead of you all, just
Come on, then.
and kind of leads the group as he rolled a 19 plus numbers, so he actually did pretty good for his natural regular ability to ride a horse. Everyone seems to have a solid time riding this. However, Ren, been a while, if not first time ever. Is it first time ever?
Yeah.
Kind of what I figured. You are currently dressed as a guard, who are all very familiar with riding horses around here, and stick out a little bit. As you all approach the gates for the first time, you are stopped, as most people are going to and from these gates. You are stopped by a man with no helmet on and a halberd, and he says, "Whoa!" All of the rest of you pass on through, but then you are stopped. He says, "Whoa, Isabella, had too much to drink last night, I see."
Just a wee bit.
All right, well, don't be taking the horse outside of here. You know that.
You're right. You are so right.
Back around with you. Kind of directs you to head back into Queenstown.
Okay.
Zinnia, how Robert and Celine all kind of do it.
And I point my thumb backwards and send message and like, I knew I should have changed. And I say that too. Ow. They
With
recognize
sending, I
me.
say,
Do you want me to make the guy just walk away? Like, I don't think.
I might have a fix.
All right. Well, we'll wait out here.
Okay.
If it takes too long, I have a deck of cards, so don't worry.
How do you inform the group?
yeah, through sending. Pew, 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 pew.
Tell everyone, like, we'll wait out here as everyone just kind of moseys off onto the outside of the gate here. Again, the gate is kind of a pseudo place for carts and people to sell things and kind of prep for going in and out of the town. Lots of rations and things for people on long journeys are out here, water skins, etc. Lots of traveling type goods are out here, so you kind of just pull yourselves off to the side. Ren, how are you going to get past this?
I am taking this horse somewhere that no one will see this horse. I will find a place. I don't care how long it takes, but I will find a place no one can see this horse.
As
And then I am also going to cast Minor Illusion, since it can be done in a 5-foot cube, to make this horse look like a like you know how cows have the little splotches on them.
oh yeah,
I'm gonna make it look like a
Chestnutty
more
kinda.
splotchy horse,
yeah, whatever.
and make sure I'm more hidden as well, so I can change into another one of Ren's forms.
Beautiful. 1 second.
Also, if you use if you use prestidigitation, you can make a color or small mark or symbol appear on an object or a surface for 1 hour. So you could make the horse have splotches that way, because minor illusion won't follow the horse.
It doesn't move with it?
Minor illusion is stationary.
Huh. Learn new things every day.
Ooh, I'm liking.
Metavision.
Metapigeon.
Hello, it is me, the
I
metagaming
mean,
pigeon.
to be fair, I'm sure Ren would have known that. Drew didn't, but I'm sure Ren would have.
As Ren, you try and get to a stealthy position to where people aren't going to see you do your magics and change as changeling. So I'm going to go ahead and roll your stealth for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you head on back to a corner, you find a small alleyway, which, yeah, you're what?
Do I feel like an inspiration is needed?
It's an average number. You tell me if you feel like an inspiration.
I'll go with average.
Okay.
I've lied my way out of better things.
As you head on back to a small alleyway to change up, you immediately change the color of the horse's mane entirely. You throw on some splotches on it, make it a white and brown chestnutty kind of horse, completely different looking, at least from the legs and fur up. You only have so much you can do, right? Or you mystique yourself, especially with your clothes, into...
I'm going to go back into Zeros, the White Leonin.
As you change to Zeros, you notice that this specific area, very, very good for hiding. Definitely not going to be anybody who can find you without making lots of noise back here. You went far enough in to where you're good. As you turn back around, standing there is someone somewhat familiar.
Son of a bitch, it's the guy, it's the artist.
The man sans the hair in the middle and the long grayish hair that goes down to the sides. Says, that's definitely what I thought there. Let's just make it easy, friend.
Easy as in...
Hop off the horse.
Now, listen kindly. I don't want to be drawn or painted. That's what you're looking for, right?
That's what I do. I paint in red.
There it is. There it is.
Well.
Need to find something.
So, you mean me harm is what I'm picking up.
I wish you no harm, but you have something very much that I would like.
Well, I can't give it to you because I need it to live. So, I guess we're gonna have to do this.
Indeed we are. Before he pulls a dagger out of his pouch and vanishes from sight.
You just ruined everything for me.
Before, a puff of black appears in front of you. Dark shadows. As a knee, quite bony, can be seen in front of you. A jacket that you're very familiar with can be seen near these boxes in this alleyway. As the man that was there to attack you is suddenly kneed into the wall by a bony figure that you're quite familiar with. Both of them disappear behind the boxes as you can hear the sounds of punches and scrapes of metal on bone.
Can I see the guy that was going to attack me?
Can you? Not from here. They're both currently behind two boxes in this small alleyway here.
I would like
he was
to
standing there and then got knocked down.
I would like to maneuver myself to where I can see this man that was going to attack me.
Okay, you trot over a little bit towards with your horse, fast enough to where you can see. As what you do see is Spade beating down on this character.
Cool. I say out loud, I'd like you to feel my pain and I'm casting Spirits of the Dead at 4th level as the spirits of those 3 families I killed rise up and attack this man with 8d10 necrotic damage.
Let me. Spirits of the Dead. What's
It's a wisdom save.
No. I'm not familiar with the spell.
So, a living creature of your choice that you can see within range is bombarded with horrifying sounds and voices of
Is
the
this
dead from their
Tasha's?
past. No, this is from.
Spirits of the Dead.
This is from.
don't-
Give me 2 seconds.
Know that spell, and I can't find it.
Duplicate tab. Scooby Doo Boo. And game rules, spells. Unless chat can tell me where it's from.
Spooktacular.
Nope. There we go.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
Spirit
There
Shrine.
it is.
Summon undead spirit.
Where the where did this spell come from?
I don't know. That's why I'm like, I've never heard of that
It's
spell.
spirit. I think
How do
it's
I
Spirit
even have
Shroud.
this? It's
Spirit Shroud is to
'Cause
call
it's
for
n-
spirits of the dead, which lit around you for the spell's duration. The spirits are intangible and invulnerable until the spell ends. Any attack you make does a d6 extra cold or extra
D8
damage when you hit a
extra.
creature within 10 feet of you.
Are you looking at a
that's the-
homebrew spell?
shouldn't be.
Robert, do you got any fours?
I have to tell you,
y'all RP
correct?
for a moment.
I do have to tell you what I have.
Yes, you have to tell me.
Then no, I do not.
I've never understood this game.
Oh my!
I
I
don't
literally
have
have
this
explained the rules 3 times, guys. I even offered to play another game.
But why would you want to show your hand? Isn't that like a saying to not show your hand?
No, you don't have to show your hand when someone asks you what's in your hand. You have to give it, and then
Well, then why
because
can't I just show
went-
it if you can ask me whatever I have?
Because I
Exactly.
don't want to see what's in your hand. I want to make.
Then
the
why are you
pairs of
asking what's in my hand? That doesn't
Because
make
that's
sense.
the name of the game. I'm trying to take your cards, and you guys are trying to get pair. Yeah. I'm cast sending at that point, whenever that is, to Ren. Where the insert censor sound are you?
We're gonna have to, because that seems like a very meta. Hey, Ren, where are you? As a, we'll do that after everything happens with Ren.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
that wouldn't be during the fight. I feel like How one like leaving though, like that's just a How thing of just like sending people messages back and forth. Jacob didn't want to interrupt though,
For
but
sure, for sure.
How would be doing that because I can literally speak to you guys whenever I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna.
Canada wide talk and text.
The reason I'm confused on this is normally it says a version, or if it's a homebrew spell, it says neither. It just says version and then nothing.
Oh, neat.
Wait, where from it? Or where's it from?
Is it on D&D Beyond?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say it's from anywhere.
I see that
and
spell.
I've never noticed that.
Absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, on D&D Beyond. Sorry, is the question. Like, where? What source are you?
Print screen? Let me print screen real quick.
I'm really curious about this spell.
Okay.
I am
so
too now because this is something
if I have
that I've had my players use before.
2
Oh,
of
really?
any card, then I get a point, right? Is that what? Is that how the fish work?
Yes, if you have a match of any kind, you put it to the side, and then if you empty your hand, you draw 5 more.
Oh. Okay. I have 10 matches actually. I have 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s. Are you playing with a rigged deck? I never remembered seeing 6 8s before, but they're here.
You know what? We should just put this deck away. This if I did have the wrong deck of cards out.
Let's try it with a different.
Robert. Okay, this is something that we did when we were bored. Ready? So put your hands under mine,
Hmm?
like that,
Oh,
but
oh.
face them the opposite way. Okay, now try to slap my hands.
You're playing
Heard you.
slaps with him.
What? No, just try to watch. Just try to slap my hands.
He goes very slowly, like,
I win, Robert. You have to go faster than that.
Oh, okay, I get it.
This is gonna go so poorly.
Roll a dex check against Robert.
Oh no!
Robert's gonna be the guy who's just like, ooh, I want to win, so he's gonna mix smack your head and just
Smite!
leave him red.
14.
14. You beat him as he goes. He says, "Hey, what's up, fair? You went fast." Like every kid the first time they play that game.
Okay,
Robert,
let's go once more.
Okay. All right, once more. 12.
Nat 20. This time he grabs both of your hands.
I win.
Robert. Come on, it's slapping, not grabbing.
Oh, sorry. I win though. Best 2 out of 3.
You do. Sure. All right.
I appreciate you guys while I'm looking, because
Picking a
like
new spell.
if not, I am having to look for a different spell to use other than
Rooks.
Fireball.
Red Rook said it's homebrew, but I mean, go Fireball. Do what you want to do.
3.
Yeah, okay. He beats you. He has a minus to dexterity, but hey, he got you. Bah!
Yes. Oh. Now see, this is a game. How?
You're getting the hang of it. See, it's so much less confusing. How I just slapping. That's all you got to do. You know.
Fine. Let's go. I'll take on the winner.
Oh
no.
Robert won.
It's my turn. Let's
Let's
do
go,
my
Robert.
game now. My game now.
It sounds good to me. Wait. You want to play rock, paper, scissors?
What? No.
What is this game?
What are scissors?
I swear to God, if you say paper, sword, shears, or whatever.
It's
Parchment, boulder, shears.
Oh,
that was-
shears.
if
Yes.
this-
Sorry. Rock, paper, shears.
if this is fine.
I go on shears. That's what we go on shears. Right?
Okay, well, I'm glad, because if you did the whole 1, 2, 3 go thing, and people who do that, it's wrong. That's the wrong way to
It's
play.
the wrong way to play.
It's the wrong way to play.
Thank you.
All right.
Rock, paper, cheers.
Can't see your hand. I feel like you're cheating.
No, I did this.
Sorry, I couldn't see. All right, do it again.
I'm trying not to look at your camera so I don't cheat.
Okay.
All right, again.
Rock, paper, cheers.
Dang it!
Robert punches you in the shoulder very hard.
Yo, what the... Since when do you punch in this game?
You take 1 bludgeoning damage.
Whoa!
Wait, you don't. We always punched.
No, you
Since when do you
don't,
punch?
Robert.
Yes, that's what you do.
Robert, you play best 2 out of 3, and then you just rub it in someone's face. You don't deck them.
I thought Zinnia's game made sense because you already start out hitting.
Robert, are all the games you play involving hitting?
What? Yes, that's how you become stronger. Your scales become hard.
Oh.
Robert,
That's
look
what
at
you
me
do.
right now. Repeat that sentence again and look at me. Look at my soft purple flesh, and I want you to repeat what you just said.
It's because you have not been hitting yourself. You need to toughen up, Hal.
Also,
I
my
can't
dad's-
grow scales, Robert.
Robert,
Still
I
gain
relate.
calluses. I mean, come on. Look like you've never
My
worked a
fault.
day in your life.
I mean,
Have you ever grown calluses on your upper foot or your upper arm? You punched me. You didn't punch me on my hands or my feet or a place where calluses grow. You punched me in the arm, Robert. I can't feel my arm.
well, I mean, Robert, I kind of I agree with the sentiment, except my father told me like to eat things that were poisonous that would kill me, so I would grow stronger against them.
What?
How's like
So your tolerance will grow. Mhm.
neither
Yo,
of you
what-
were smart.
Sorry. So your parents told you to eat poisonous things, and your parents beat the crap out of you to make you stronger?
It makes you stronger.
I didn't
How else
have
are you
that
Yo, my
side
parents just
result.
left like normal ones. I don't know what the hell is going on in your guys' childhoods.
No, mine left as well. My brother is the one who hurt me. But it was to make me
Oh.
tougher. That's what the
Huh.
games were for. Obviously, Zinnia, your parents cared about you very much.
Right.
Celine.
Wonder how Ren's doing.
Celine goes-
Meanwhile,
Yeah, my parents used to make me I was allergic to nuts, and so they used to make me eat them in small quantities to try and grow a immunity. Basically, all three of them have things that should not have happened, and I was like, so glad did not grow up around people.
Okay, but Jackie talking, my dad legitimately had me eat things I was allergic to, so I would not be allergic to them.
Did you become not allergic?
Eggs, yes.
Nice. My
Yeah.
friend who has celiacs does that for wheat and stuff, and he can eat a burger now without vomiting, which is better because he had one Dorito chip one time, and that was his night. The rest was vomit.
Ow. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, microdose.
Yeah, microdose. Anywho, Ren, do you have a new
burger? I
spell?
might order a burger.
So I don't have a new spell, and it is way too like in the moment to go through all the sorcerer spells.
Fireball.
So yeah, it's gonna be a fireball.
Oh, is it
and
actually?
It is, and I am going to be using it as a careful spell on Spade.
And yourself?
And myself. And yeah, I'm unleashing. Like I don't have anything else that's damaging as far as spells go. So yep.
Right. As you see Spade do the beat up thing where he grabs the guy by the scruff of the shirt and pulls him towards him as he pushes down with a punch. Just a nasty hit. You can hear the guy's nose kind of crack at that as the guy takes the knife and slashes right up against Spade's upper forearm. And you decide to even the odds here a little bit by in between two buildings, protecting Spade and yourself.
Because there's no one else in here besides.
Shoot a
Us, right?
fireball. Correct. Currently. As you shoot and engulf things in flames. You hear the screams of the man that Spade was punching, as he's going to be disadvantaged as Spade currently kind of has him pinned. Yeah, so he's going to take the full damage. How much damage are you doing?
Oh, wait, hold on. Careful spell also on the horse. I had to think about that.
Fair enough, fair
Because
enough.
the horse is in the alley too.
Fair enough.
Oh,
I was
no.
going to count the horse with you, but good call. So how much damage do you do? Send the horse to
it's
team.
yeah, I'm just doing it as a third level spell, so okay.
Robert, did you hear that?
That is gonna be 29.
When he looks, I punch him in the arm.
Sure. You have to play a game for it to be worth this. He punches you back. Do you have a -1 to strength?
You bet I do.
You can do no
It's just like
damage
that-
to him,
I
but
just
you're
do,
gonna
like,
take.
wind up punch, and then the shot goes through my body.
You kind of like do the vibrate back, but he says, "Hey, you have to play a game." As he punches you back, as sorry, Drew, I'm not used to your different shape D4. Okay, you take 2 bludgeoning damage this time. You have to play it for a game.
I feel like for the next while, it's like the Deadpool versus Colossus fight. All the dinosaurs fear the T-Rex as I'm just trying to wrestle Robert down. And then Hal looks at chat. Damn it!
I would also like to note after the fireball, I would immediately like to start using prestidigitation to put out the fires on the houses.
Beautiful. As these combination stone and houses, you fireball. How much? It was 29 damage.
Yep.
Okay. As you do so, Spade he gets him with a good hit before Spade pulls back, and suddenly fire erupts, and Spade kind of looks all back and around as this guy, lit and on fire, screams out in pain. The windows to the buildings nearby have completely shattered. The curtains on the inside of the houses are lit in flame as you reach back and just you blow fast gusts of wind with your prestidigitation to put them out. As
Oh no!
just call me an angel. As sorry, as the fire spreads, Spade looks around and looks up at you, not expecting you to, I guess, have seen him. The man begins to put the fire out best he can before he takes this opportunity. He's not looking too hot, very bloodied, before he runs towards the end of the alley and whoosh, turns himself invisible once again to try and rush away from the crowd. Spade looks towards him, and he takes a throwing knife and throws it that way in an attempt to hit the invisible man. He doesn't. Invisibility. What can you do? As a knife goes flying, as you hit ding, into the stone nearby, Spade looks at you and says, "Really? Fire?"
That's what I do best.
He looks over towards the crowd and people rushing and running away from the spot. He says, "What you should do best is leave," before Spade, in the darkness of this alleyway, disappears and poofs out of the area.
He is a shadow monk. Sorry, just had to.
He is a shadow monk. You currently stand where a fireball just went off. People are running away from this area. You've blown the windows out of the 2 nearby houses, but you look different, so that's great. You don't look like a guard now. You look like a civilian who caused the fireball.
Did you say a horse is medium?
Not because these are war horses.
Okay.
That being said, Jakey, Jackie, Robert, everyone has in fact heard that explosion. The interaction does go where Robert punches you back as you're like, "God, seriously."
I do the whole thing of just like I try and grab Robert's hand and go, "That time there was an actual explosion."
Oh,
I'm going to say this horse and dimension door out of there 500 feet away.
So
towards the gate.
Wait, can't you take someone with you with dimension door? Just grab the horse.
That's
medium
what
or
I
smaller?
tried, but it has to be medium or smaller.
So
Hence the
let me
reason I
paint
asked
you a
about the
picture
size of the horse.
of Isabella's friend that says, "Come on, return the horse. It can't be going out there." It's like, okay. Sees Isabella go away. He looks and he's like, "Huh. Figured she would have gone down the main road, but she just disappeared." That is about. He just turns and looks back. Ah! He runs over with a halberd, and there are curtains sticking out of exploded windows on fire, and a multicolored horse runs through the crowd and has no idea what is going on. As we will never know what happens past that, as we go to Ren outside behind one of the nearby vendors' stalls outside of the gate. Roll me a stealth to see if anybody noticed. Well, actually, I roll you a stealth. My bad. As you whoosh, Ren, you are in the center of the marketplace.
I would like to use my inspiration.
Fair enough. That's a good one because you rolled a 3 there.
No.
Not quite in the center. This time, better. You do have a +1, so that leads you literally at average at a 10. I'll give you that one. So you do go behind a cart. You scare a nearby merchant who's taking some of his silks and hanging them out, ready to
I look at this man, I say, "How did I get here?"
"I don't know. How did you get here?"
I don't know either.
Before you just shake him, "I don't know either," and you run off. He says, "Who are you?" Before you rush and you see your friends on the tall war horses, several people rushing towards the inside of the city here, or guards preventing some people from coming in. You see your friends standing nearby the entrance of this. They will have no idea what you look like.
If I can get close enough, I would like to message one of them. I don't care who's closest.
You
It's
rush
me.
over.
I'm the Leonin.
Xenia, a Leonin of all people, and a handsome
Wait,
one at the. You've seen that one before. He points at you, Xenia, and you hear.
Oh, great.
We need to get out of here.
Drew, can
What?
you get your sensor effect ready for a moment?
Yes.
What in the
Oh.
did you just do?
What in the did just
Sorry, what the? Realistically, we all know how.
Yes.
the tattoos on his arms begin to censor themselves?
What happened to not causing more trouble to get out of trouble? I'm just saying, let's go. Let's get on. Let's go.
Wait.
Oh, Robert, now's not the time.
But where is Ren?
Robert, so help me God.
Where is Ren? We cannot leave without our friend. We had such a heart-to-heart with each other.
No, Ren died in that explosion.
This is our new friend.
No.
No, I'm totally kidding. That's Ren right there. Okay, let's go. And now it starts riding up the road.
Roll an animal handling for me, How?
I used guidance. Ooh, 19 that time.
19.
Guidance +4.
Robert
Oh,
doesn't quite catch
gonna-
up to you, but he's coming hard towards you, and you can see him pull his fist up, but you rush your horse a little faster.
I loop around him, and I'm gonna do that thing where I'm gonna try and because Ren's a light boy, but like I'm gonna do the whole like jump, and I'm gonna try and get Ren on my horse so we can ride away.
Yeah.
Pulling
And
the
as I
Legolas
get on this
Gimli
horse,
Aragorn up.
you remember that guy with the reverse mohawk that wanted to paint me? Yeah, he wanted my blood.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
cornered me in an alley, and then looks around. Spade saved my life.
He what?
Told you. Truly, stand-up man.
I
Other than-
think because. Oh, wait. I just realized the wording is. Spade said we won't get harmed on the way there, and that's his deal. Oh my God, Spade has to protect us, or he screws up his deal. Oh my God. I am the worst person. I love loopholes, and I just found a loophole in this asshole's plan. I know how we're gonna beat Spade. How yells while he's riding the horse.
As you all are all trotting together. Zinnia.
How?
I'm gonna be using sending to make like a text chain for everyone while we're on horses.
But so Spade said that we won't get harmed on the way to Kern, and he's going to honor that. Meaning Spade's going to probably try and protect us so we arrive all together, and then our deal's all over. We have to decide whether we leave or not. But if something happens to one of us, or Spade doesn't help with this, he didn't fulfill his end of the deal that we got to Kern safely. I have a theory. It's theory, I'm more like an idea. And Ren, I know you're going to hate this one. I think we should go through the Sprite Wood. If we really want to hedge our bets against Spade.
But do you think he can fight the things that want to kill us there?
No.
But
Oh.
but
There you go.
Oh.
I think we can still go on our normal path and stuff, but I think if by accident we just run into something and we just ignore it for the next... It's 3 days to Kern, right? Or is it
it's
longer?
3 days quicker to Kern.
Oh, okay. Sorry, 3 days quicker. I mixed it up.
For the next, 12 days, we made an agreement that we have a bodyguard. That, yeah, sure, he gets to mess with us when we get there. But we can make this one hell of a trip.
So did Ren tell us about the fireball? I don't think did Ren say fireball?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I figured. I was just checking.
I said nothing about a fireball. And that poor horse
Hold
that
on.
has no idea what's happening.
Ren, did your fireball have the purple color that it normally does?
Oh,
No, and the reasoning behind that is every time Ren changes to a new form, the color of the magic also changes.
Fair enough. Give it to you. So, yeah, you would have
So
no idea that it's Ren.
okay.
I
mean,
feel like
For
Context
Isabella,
clues.
it's green.
So what? Spade is just following us right now, and I turn around to see who's behind us.
Roll a perception.
I mean, I'd probably say probably.
Everybody
We're riding horses.
at that mention
Quickly
kind of
together.
turns around and looks. Zinnia?
24.
24. You look back.
24.
You were certain that you were not being followed, right?
I don't know, guys. I don't see him.
I mean, here's the
Well,
thing. It's not that he has to he doesn't have to save us and stuff, but he guaranteed us a safe way there. And Robert, if he is a man of his word, which so far if he followed Zania this whole way, this is a dude who is a stickler for that stuff. Why would he jump out of an alleyway to protect you, Ren?
I never said he wasn't truthful.
Oh no, I didn't either. What I'm saying though is we don't necessarily have to endanger ourselves in any way. We can keep on the same path. But I'm saying I think at some point there might be an opportunity to either balance the deal with Spade and save him from something, or just talk to him about this.
But
I gotta say, I thought you were saying that he should die, and I'm not as on board with that. So he was
I don't
trying
wanna
to kill us, or some of us. I don't know.
Well, he's enacting someone else's will, right? Like if Robert seems to trust this guy, and I'm not gonna lie, Robert, I do trust your judgment.
I mean, also
Spade
at
guy
the end of
doesn't
the
seem
day,
like the worst.
at the end of the day, in our talk with him, he doesn't want Zania dead either. In fact, he wants Zania alive.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering though, if he was really following us and we were all past the gate here, why was he back in the alley with you? How did he know
Probably
you?
Well, I was Isabella when I talked with him, so.
Oh.
And then that also brings up the fact that the fireball was actually blue because blue is Zeros' color. And I was Zeros when I did the fireball.
Oh, fireball would be blue, but not purple, so not recognizable.
I mean, I love this theory and I'd love to try it out. I'd just rather not die testing a theory out.
Well,
I
I mean,
don't-
we can still go the Queenswood. Because I don't necessarily think it's faster to go on the Spritewood side of the bay.
I think we go then the regular way we're planning, but yeah, if we run into stuff, I think we confront it. We don't necessarily have to go after giants or anything, but
I may have also helped him as well, by not burning him to a crisp.
Well,
oh
He
wow, so the source of
Burning
that
him.
loud explosion was you.
Oh.
I am so shocked.
Wait.
Yeah.
No.
The
Red,
horse is
say it
fine.
isn't so.
The horse was fine. I made sure to protect the horse,
Mm-hmm.
and no one died that I know of.
Ren.
I was gonna say the time gap between explosion and you getting here is very quick, and no one died. Are you sure? Wait, what about Blood Guy? Did he die?
No, he didn't die either. So,
Oh.
but you know, I've been chased by worse.
right. Well, okay. I guess we'll
On a
just.
side note, he does have shadow magic as well, so
Wait.
Who does?
So
the guy with the reverse mohawk, and by this time, Ren's back
Did he?
in Ren form.
As y'all are riding, Ren slowly kind of transforms into himself, bit by bit, to not make it obvious to any passerby.
Yeah, no, he kind of just like poofed out, kind of like that guy that took away your friends, kind of like that same kind of vibe, but
Ren, roll me an Arcana.
had a dagger instead. Arcana! With my +0, that's an 8.
Yup.
Well, kind of like that guy that took your friends. He just kind of poof.
weird.
You're safe. That's good. Spade seems to be somewhat protective of you at the very least, if not all of us. So. Good.
I mean, to be fair, I figured I should repay that.
Right.
Spade didn't let me die, so I won't let Spade die.
So.
But then that also means things. This is difficult.
definitely a thinker. But either way, we're kind of riding a bit aimlessly down the road, or do we intend to keep following the road, or where are we going?
We got to get to the bay.
You said following the Queenswoods or to the Spritewoods? Yeah, what do you think?
Well, we're going along the Spritewood, along the bank, no?
The Queenswood, yeah.
Queen's.
Oh, Queenswood.
I
Oh,
thought-
right. I was
Well, yeah,
I-
I thought Hal
what?
mentioned Spritewoods, so I didn't know.
right. Sorry, I was.
DM question. It wasn't any quicker to take the coastline of the Spritewood versus
Absolutely,
the Queenswood,
it
right?
would be quicker to take the Spritewood.
Oh, well then we're going to take the coastline of the Spritewood, Ren says. If everybody wants to. That
I
would
mean,
be a
yeah,
much
like-
faster way.
If it's
Right.
faster
Probably
and
save a whole
so
day.
much funnier for the guy. If it's faster and funnier for the guy following us, love it.
Saving 4 days altogether on this adventure. It's almost a whole week.
At that, you decide, Ren, you stop everyone here and immediately turn northern and eastward for where you're at. You're heading the road up to the crossroads, which is directly west. You stop everyone and immediately kind of more than 90-degree turn it back and head towards the bay to where you can follow the coastline. From here, the bay kind of sits downwards almost in like a bowl. You can even see the forest miles in the distance that would eventually lead to the lake. It's past the horizon to where you can't quite see it, but you can see the forest off of the road here. Ren, since you seem to be leading everyone, and you now have a map of the Spritewood and where to go, roll me a survival at advantage.
Also, since Ren is now on my horse, can I use guidance?
Well, if he mentions that he's looking at...
I think it would be very obvious as you hear the sound of paper just.
Loud crumpling in Hal's ear.
Actually, wait, no,
so-
you have a map of the Queenswood, not the Spritewood, so you don't have advantage, so reroll, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, Stronghurst caught it too, my bad. Yeah, just one brain cell.
Well, that went from a 17 to a roll the d4 to a 4.
What was the D4 adding?
1.
Okay. Right. So, as you're on the horse trying to get your bearings here, you put the map up against Hal's back. As he's like, all right, before you're like, just hold on. As you kind of unfurl it out there, it's a bit too big here, and it's hard to read in the wind of the horse. But you're wanting to keep up the quick pace, so you don't say anything. Mistake number one. As you roll the map out, you take a look at the forest and you think that there's a clearing that we can go through here to avoid pretty much all of the trees entirely and go right to the bay. Not a problem. So you begin directing everybody. You say, "How? All right, take us that way." As everyone begins to follow Hal's lead horse, with Ren kind of leading everyone on through the day. The morning has come. The sun is high in the sky at this point as you travel your way northern. You don't need too much survival expertise to know how to go northern, but perhaps where you would have wanted to land isn't exactly where you landed. You went a little bit more northward than you had planned. Once you hit the tree line, you expected at the kind of high elevation that you're at to be able to see the lake or the bay on the other side of it before you go down into the trees, but you can't. And you think you went a little bit too far north and not enough east, meaning it's going to take a bit of time out of your day. So it may take, at this point, it's probably equal amount of time to go through the Spritewoods as it is to go through the Queenswoods. You realize at about
goofed.
noon.
I may have goofed.
What's happening?
We're a little bit more north than we needed to be.
Okay.
Reading a map on the back of a horse isn't as easy as I thought it would be. And so it's about equal distance both ways. It's going to take about the same amount of time if we go via the Queenswood or the Spritewood. And
What challenges are there in the Queenswood?
Queenswood has the giants and the elk, and
If
the
you-
Spritewood
A
has
few
the-
unidentified caves.
Ah, yes, and caves.
Well.
Wood.
Sprites, I assume.
Everyone can roll a history check. See what they know about the Spritewood.
Ooh, baby, that's a whole
Don't bring me
3.
down, Bruce. That's a whole history. Please tell me I have a negative on that. No, just a 0. That's a whole 4.
18. I finally know something, kind of.
18. Zinnia, absolutely. The Spritewood is home to many sprites, pixies, fairies, things that enjoy mischief about their days. You don't know if you'd want to go there. You don't know why they're there, and you kind of convey that information to the group. With Celine actually got a very high roll on this one. She says, actually, it's not just sprites and pixies, though that is terribly a reason not to go on its own. The Spritewood's home to many fey creatures. Some even say that many of the creatures of the Feywild come here. I don't know if you've ever been, and it's not a good place, but the Feywild is not somewhere I would tread if I could avoid it. I hear many horrible stories.
I am, yes, I've gone one time. I don't
You
think I
have?
want to relive it. Yes, I have.
Right?
Oh,
Awesome.
goodness. Yeah. I personally, I just feel like elk and giants are a little more predictable than the Fae. No offense to the Fae. If you're listening, don't fuck with me. I apologize.
I agree. Fae is very bad. Though playful, maybe it could be good for us. I don't know. I've heard good rumors as well.
And I've experienced bad. Bad.
Experience
Also-
trumps any rumors I've heard.
Right. Yeah. So, Queenswood. My vote.
Then I
Works for me.
agree with Sania.
Alrighty.
Also, Ren, would it be easier navigating, like, if you were riding your own horse, or is riding this horse, like, okay?
Oh no, it's definitely easier being on the back of a horse, so I can
Okay,
use
good.
and Ren's opening up the map again and slapping it on your back to get a better look.
Go ahead
Yep,
and roll
okay.
survival again. This time at advantage since you have the map.
I'll use guidance
Hey!
again, even though Hal's annoyed.
Well, good. It's good advantage. The first one was a natural 1,
Uh huh.
and the second one, it's plus a 3, so a 10. I told you, my dice roll terrible for me.
You are certain that you can get to the coastline, but you're not sure if you should keep this to yourself or not. The scale on this map is all sorts of wonky. So you can get yourself to the coastline, but avoiding any dangers and when they're going to come up, and that's going to be a tough one. The scales don't really match up on the Adventurers Guild map that shows the whole world versus this zoomed in one here of just the Queenswood. It's very hard to tell scale, but you can get yourself to the coastline for sure.
We can do this. We got this. This map isn't as accurate as what I'm used to. No offense, How. It's a lovely map, but the scale's a little off on it. So I don't.
And I hear a
know.
whole awful lot of excuses, and I don't hear you giving me directions. I'm just going straight on this horse.
Let's go this way. And Ren points to the way they're
Okay.
supposed to go.
Ren, you direct the group towards the coastline. It takes you a little bit. You're now in some pretty thick forest in the Queenswood here.
Ren's gonna lean forward and say, "I promise, I'll get you apples."
To how?
Yeah.
I accept this.
Excellent. Somebody's.
I feel like at that point, like the horse's ears perk up, like when apples are brought up, but Hal just looks back and just goes, "Not for you."
The horse stops dead in his tracks. I'm just kidding. As you direct the horses towards the coastline, It doesn't take you terribly long. You know, northeast is generally how I'm going to get there at this point, Ren. And as long as I keep pointing them that way. Okay, God, the sun is above. I can tell where to go at this point. And you start directing them that way. Your general actual lack of knowing where to go, you try and keep to a pretty bare minimum, as everyone else exudes nothing but confidence from you and your ability to take them along the Queenswoods coastline of the Royal Bay. The forest is thick. The forest wood is heavy. It is the same trees that come from the Sprite Woods. They are all very gnarled oaken trees here, very deep, thick roots. But now there is a coat of frost that is starting to appear as you're going further and further north. The snow in itself beats down. A lot of the trees here are not dead, but have lost their leaves. And so any cover that you might have in this treeway is definitely lost, as there are no leaves going right now, and is further lost by your big, tall black horses riding through and your new brightly red backpack. As you ride along the coastline, you can see a decent ways here, honestly. The snow is beginning to fall. It's cold, but not cold enough to where with your current gear you wouldn't be able to warm up and stop at night. But once you keep going further, you might actually need to get some hides or something that can provide additional warmth for you. And maybe hunting would be a good way to go about that. But for now, you make your way through the snowy, fallen leaf landscape and get to the Royal Bay. At the Royal Bay and on the coastline, this very much is an extremely large lake. It is not frozen. The snow is just falling here, but the water would not be comfortable to jump in. All the way across the lake, you see nothing but the fog of a snowy day across a lake like this. It kind of limits your vision to where you would normally. It's a 20-mile at least wide lake at the smallest point, so you wouldn't be able to see too much across it anyway, but you can't even see any ships that might be out there on the bay at this point. But you decide to get everyone to follow along the shoreline as best you can. It's going to take 2 days to get across this shoreline, get all the way out to the other side of the bay. In doing so, you have to stop twice for the night and set up camp. Do you all risk the warmth of a fire on this coastline, or do you try and hunker down and either warm yourselves up with blankets that you have or what have you? What are we trying to do to survive on this slowly becoming colder night without any cold weather gear?
Do giants like fire? Dislike fire?
Everyone can roll me a nature check on that.
As Rin rubs their belly and says, fashion. And a nice furry just like, because Rin normally has that like kind of parka thing with that already has a little bit of fur, but the fur now just.
Ren is now wearing a very thick northern gear.
Hey,
Oh,
that's,
solid 3.
What was the skill?
Thank you.
Nature.
Nature.
Nature. Plus 0, so 17. I'll take it.
Ania?
15.
15. Ania, you said giants like fire, and then you think, no, nothing likes fire. No, nothing wants to be hit by fire. Ren, you echo that sentiment. I don't want to be hit by fire either, and I imagine that a giant would save maybe a fire giant, but I don't see any of them around here. As Ania, you think, looking at the trees, a fire might be spotted since there's not exactly tree cover to hide where the smoke could be coming from. It could be worth it.
I mean, honestly, I can keep myself a little warm. I have a little fur on me. Now looks like Ren can be a little warm.
You're so smart.
Yes. Ren.
And Ren slowly changes back into Xeros, the Leonin.
Big,
And then
now with
also
the
has
coat,
this, like,
yeah.
it almost looks like a mane.
Just a straight up, like, full Eskimo gear all around, fur in every part around with the giant lion's head. Ren, you're almost getting a little warm.
I hug on to How and, like, I give you warmth.
I'm not gonna
Right.
lie. I am thin. I am lanky. I am cold. I am upset. But this hug is nice.
It's so warm.
I'm worried for Robert. He was born in the scorch and he looked a little, scaly.
Robert
Robert,
sits off in the distance, shivering heavily.
No.
Hal yells over and goes,
Hey, Robert, this will toughen your scales, I swear.
I need you to roll an intimidation to not be intimidated by the glare Robert gives you.
intimidation against Robert. Ooh, your boy's got +7. That's a 24. 14 + 7.
So with my 2, Robert looks back at you. Instead of angry, snot runs down his face.
Maybe you're right.
Oh, I feel bad for him. I reach back and I do the opposite of what How did to the really sweaty guy, and I start blasting warm air at Robert.
Ren, you concentrate like a heating lamp towards Robert as Robert just, oh. You hear Robert make noises you never heard Robert make before and hope never to
Probably
again.
don't want to hear him again. Yep.
But Robert says, oh, before he comes over and you're like, through the small bit of snow. It's not even a large amount of snow. There's maybe half an inch on the ground at this point, especially where you're kind of on the shoreline and the water comes up and rushes a lot of it away before he comes over and says, please, right here is you. Oh, just kind of heat the scales of his cheeks up in his face. You can see the icicle on his nose begin to slowly kind of melt and fade away. He is a cold-blooded creature. It is very easy for him to get icicles on his face.
Robert, while people are sleeping, I will take shifts, and don't worry, I have magic to keep you warm.
Thank you.
Celine pulls out jacket. I live in the north. She pulls out a vest not unlike yours, Ren, and she starts putting on warmer clothes and says, I come prepared. I have enough warm clothes for me, and I have a warm blanket for anyone who might need it.
Go to Robert.
Yeah,
She looks at
Ren
Hal and looks at
says,
Robert.
arm getting tired.
She said, okay. And she throws...
It lasts for an hour when you cast it.
Huh.
He's definitely warm for a solid minute or two. As Robert grabs the heavy sleeping blanket and just... Oh. Are you all creating a fire or not for the night?
No, because if we trade shifts, I can just prestidigitation is a 5-foot cube that lasts for an hour. So keeping Robert warm as long as we're huddling and stuff, I don't think we need a fire.
You might need one.
I mean, true, but
Just get into the cuddle puddle. You got two
I'm just
Leonins,
gonna cuddle
one with a
Robert.
really floofy jacket.
You ask Robert, hey, can I... can you
It looks
scoot?
real cozy, Robert.
It is. I seem to remember you insulting me.
I see. I do the whole thing where I'm trying to get under the covers of the Robert and go, "Hey, you punched me like 3 times. You deserved it."
As you two kind of struggle to see who holds the blanket, that seems like a decent place to stop for the night, as it is time, and we're actually a little past time. So, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you enter the giveaway for the amazing How hoodie from your boy, the Jakey boy.
That's me.
If you haven't done so yet, we'll give you another 30 seconds. ! Lud, be following. Join
And
that giveaway.
while we're waiting, you know what? We're gonna reiterate it again. We're gonna say it again. Next week, Devil's Advocate. It's gonna be on before the Red Wagon Inn. And you know what's cool about Devil's Advocate? They will come on and debate the journey as Dane. Or I've really this up.
It gets me every time.
Long story short, Dane and Craig, they're gonna debate lore of D&D, and I've been told that the followers of this chat are really gonna enjoy next week, so y'all should check it out before our stream next week.
Can you read off the stuff that you were required to read, just like Gideon had to? Yes, they are debaters of D&D. They do a lot of good things in the chat.
So, Devil's Advocate will be on before Red Wagon Inn next week. Come on the debating journey as Dane and Craig debate the lore of D&D.
For free. For free.
For free?
For free.
But seriously, though, all joking aside, it's a really awesome show, and you should come check it out next week. And plus, what are you guys doing anyway? You're about to watch us be on a stream. Come watch this show too. It's really cool.
I agree, and what I also agree with is that sick giveaway. Hit it up, Drew. Let us get that giveaway going.
Let me get a
Victory
drum roll.
screech!
Oh, professionals.
Carousel.
Carousel.
I think this is someone that's won before too. So you come watch our show, you're gonna win stuff.
You win. You win by watching the show. You win by winning stuff. We win by having had you come on. That's a win, win, win.
Right. And
Classic.
guess what? You win some, you don't lose some, because all you do is win on the Red Wagon Inn.
No matter what.
There is a blood pack though, so you do
Got
lose
money
a
on my
little bit.
mind. I can never give it up. And it stays there. Right. I think that's a good place to stop.
Wow! I totally froze for you, right?
I think it's a decent place to stop. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. I hope you all have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, one last thing. We're gonna raid someone.
We're going to raid somebody.
I don't have control of this, but we're gonna raid playing board games.
Do it.
And someone's doing that for us.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see
Probably.
you next week at the Red Wagon Inn.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye. Oh, we're raiding. Good.
Wagon Inn, where
Bye.
you red wagon win.